It's snowing. Lots of snow over here in Canada, and I guess in Texas or wherever they live. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. Your host for today, King Bucho. Alright guys, so due to public demand, we decided to make this show concerning the Charlo twins, who didn't bother to do any of the VADA testing. They missed more than one test, according to the reports. Now, I haven't seen a lot of videos on this subject on YouTube, of course. I saw like 3 videos, and some of them were expressing, some of the people who were speaking were expressing concern over what happened. Others were just saying that it's a ploy so that Canelo avoids the Charlos, basically. So it's an excuse. It's a fabrication. They have been framed. The Charlo brothers have been framed. We're gonna talk all about this. Alright. Today we have Stu, who's gonna be helping me out here with the hosting. I'm gonna just play his intro and then we shall begin.
I wasn't bad though.
I told you what's going to happen with Price. I told you he's going to be sleeping. I told you the ambulance is going to come. The oxygen mask is going to come out. I told you he's going to miss the main event. I told you all them things were going to happen.
All right, Stu, welcome to the show. What's up?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Just watching the Lebedev fight. I mean, not a great fight, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't think if any of you guys in the chat are missing this fight at the moment, you're not missing a lot. It's been an average card. Seen a lot of them lately. I mean, I think Eddie Hearn's had quite a bad month at the moment, mate. I think his cards have been a bit shocking. And obviously the Callier fight, Gonzalez fight, I'd like to talk about that as well. I mean, I just seen the thumbnail of your of the Charlos. I mean, it's fucking made me laugh. That did, man. I mean, they look like fucking Milli Vanilli, man, in that fucking picture with their fucking. Where do they get them jackets from? Fucking GeorgeMichael.com or something. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know what kind of style that is, but I just find it weird.
I'm surprised. I mean, HBO are on that fucking social justice warrior, feminine agenda at the moment. I'm surprised they didn't snap the Charlos up looking like that. That'd have been the poster boys for them.
Yeah. Okay, so I haven't been following this card. I just saw the heavyweight fight with Hunter against that giant Russian guy, which was a boring fight, mismatch. Maybe you want to talk about the Gonzalez fight.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what. Did you see it?
No, I didn't. Didn't have time.
Yeah, hard fight to score because I won't lie. I've taken the eye off. It wasn't a very exciting fight, to be honest with you. I mean, it looked like Gonzalez for me looked like he was doing the classier work. Callier fight looked like he was causing the more damage. Very hard fight to score. I mean, I had it off. I think I had it 1 round U5, but because I wasn't obviously watching the fight all the time, it's hard for me to actually put a winner on it. And I don't want to sound like I'm fucking being biased towards a Brit, because for me, I thought Gonzalez was doing the better work. I thought Callier fight just throws single punches, and what Gonzalez was doing very well as well. Every time you fire was throwing the single punches, Gonzalez was responding with combinations. And when you throw combinations, 2 or 3 is going to hit. And Callier fire just covers up the guard and waits for the combinations to stop so he can throw his single punches again. But Gonzalez kept throwing the shots and never really give Ufai a chance to you know, peek out the guard and set his feet and throw his own hands. So if anyone had Gonzalez winning that fight, I don't have a problem with it, because he was doing the classy work. Callier fight looked very flat, very one-geared. Like I said, throwing single shots at world-class level. I mean, if this guy wants to fight Rungvisai and Chocolatito, I mean, he's not going to win by throwing single shots. He's going to get, I'll tell you what, he'd have lost tonight badly if he'd have fought any of them guys. You know, you just can't fight like that against people like Rungvisai and Chocolatito who throw combinations, punches in bunches, and the classier shots as well. Because Cal Yufai, although he is quite a classy boxer at times, and he has got decent power, but like I said, nothing special with him. Just nothing special with him at all at the moment. I'm not seeing anything special with him. I think out of all the British champions, he looks like probably one of the weakest ones we've got at the moment. He's unbeaten, so it might have just been a bad day at the office, but for me, it was a very flat, lackluster performance. Didn't show any special skills, just basic stuff. Very slow as well. And like I said, if you're throwing slow single punches against a guy is quite sharp, he was getting on the end of his punches. He found his range quite nicely. He had a nice rhythm going with his punches as well, Gonzalez. He was throwing his shots, letting them go, and they were flowing nicely. And Cal Yufai never had that rhythm. It just looked real. Everything looked difficult for him on the night. Just letting his hands go, getting his speed right, lackluster, struggling at the weight by the looks of it. I mean, a real bad night at the office, and miles behind Rungvisai and Chocolatito at the moment.
All right. So I guess that was the only interesting fight in that card, right?
What other fights did we have? We had fucking Buglioni. I mean,
oh yeah. Oh man.
We know what that guy's going to do when he retires. Just fucking sit in a gym all day and just be a punching bag, a talking punching bag. Yeah, the future.
Oh, man.
Do you know what I mean? Because that guy, that's all he is. You know, got cut up. The fight got stopped early in a cut, and it is what it is with Buglioni. We're talking about a guy that got knocked out in a round by Callum Johnson. So this is the levels we're talking about. So that fight, and then what else? We've got the Ustinov. I mean, Ustinov was absolutely appalling. I mean, that guy should not be allowed a boxing license. He's just finished. He wasn't even letting his hands go. What he was doing, he wasn't even throwing out the jab. He was just sticking his arm out and just rushing in to hold. It was like he just didn't want to try anything. He just wanted to get in close and rabbit punch the guy. And every time he was just walking forward square on. And what we saw is why cruiserweights always stand a chance against these big guys. We keep hearing about the size difference. Oh, these guys are too big. But look at the speed difference. I mean, Hunter looked like fucking Cassius Clay in there, the speed difference. And that's always going to be, when you're 15.5 stone and you're quick and you're landing shots like that, it doesn't matter how big these guys are, they're going to fall eventually. It's like chopping down a big tree. They're going to go eventually. And the speed difference, the accuracy, the fitness, this is why these cruiserweights, there's not a lot of difference between top cruiserweights and top heavyweights in today's boxing, I'm afraid. And that's why we've always got to give Usyk a very good chance.
Yeah, but to be fair, this Russian guy, I mean, he wasn't bringing anything to that table.
No, he was terrible. But what we saw was the speed difference between, because although he was slow and terrible, most of these heavyweights are slow. When you think Tyson Fury, well, they class him as one of the slickest guys in the division, and look how look how slow Steve Cunningham made him look. Outboxed him at times. Fury couldn't box Cunningham. He had to rough him up and get on the inside and just wear him down and make it a dogfight, because when he tried to box him, he was getting outboxed. He was too slow to the punch. And this is, you know, these big guys are going to struggle with a 15.5 stone guy with speed and footwork. I'm sure of that. It's just like these big guys, they land and it's over. But Ustinov was terrible. I mean, that guy should get his license taken off him. Terrible performance. Like I said, he just didn't throw anything. His punches were so slow, and he looked scared in there, just desperate to get on the inside and hold, because he wasn't even throwing the jab out. He was just holding his left hand out like a range fighter and then just flying in to hold. It was terrible. But McGregor's on the line, so
yeah,
see what he can say.
What's up, man?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I have a little bit of background.
Yeah, we can hear it. Are you using different headset? Do you have us playing in the background?
I hear it coming through Stu's microphone, but yeah.
All right.
No, I'm using the same headphones as normal.
That's weird. Stu, do you hear anything different? Weird?
No, I can hear you both fine.
All right. Well, anyways.
Just keep talking, McGregor. It'll go eventually. Sometimes it
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, exactly. All right.
All right, what's up? What's the topic?
Well, we're going to start talking about... Yeah, go ahead, Stu.
Sorry, bro. I was just saying we're just talking about the card in Monaco. I just wonder if you caught up with any of them.
No, I was watching every fight. Was watching the Lebedev fight just gone downstairs. Honestly, it's a shit card. I felt Israel Gonzalez was robbed against Cal Yafai, if I'm being honest. That's just my perspective. I thought he outlanded him comfortably. Michael Hunter beat a flat, lumbering piece of shit Ustinov. I don't know what he was.
Oh,
and
horrible. Horrible he was.
You said
horrible.
He shouldn't have a boxing license, man. Like, my own personal opinion is if he wants to grab hold of men and pull them down to his bollocks and like have gay orgies, he should do it elsewhere, not on live fucking TV.
Exactly, or just go to the UFC or Bellator or something like that.
Nah, that was just a shambles. He
was.
Hunter looked like you said, Cassius Clay in comparison. Doesn't say a lot. And this is really, to me, striking of the WBA's rankings. Because the WBA is they had him at number 14. So I don't know how they had Ustinov at 14, but there you go.
But he looked old as well, man. It's not like Vlad. Vlad comes out 41 years old, looking like a Greek god. This guy looked like a fucking.
He looked like a 56-year-old who's let himself go at a pool party.
He looked like a fucking Chechnyan chef. That's what he looked like.
Pretty much. Like, he looked like he had plutonium in his gloves or something. I don't know.
Why the fuck are they at the Monte Carlo? Why are they there? Like, why?
Because it's
because that's the one place you can put that on where the people don't care. Have you not seen the crowd, man?
Yeah, exactly. They look clueless.
I've had more people in my bedroom.
Wasn't that the same place that Ortiz failed to knock out that bum?
Yeah, the same casino, but I think it was a different area.
But it was like the same
where he fought Malik Scott, isn't it?
Yeah, Malik Scott. That's who I'm referring to.
That's not like a show put on to make money. That's a show that Monaco's putting on, like it puts on the Grand Prix, because it's a rich boys' place, isn't it? And it's just there for the show. Just like the Saudis, when they put a fight, the Saudis are not making money off these fights. Do you think they made money out of Callum Smith and Groves through TV and revenue? Not happening. That's just it's basically where rich people get together and
it is professional fighting, but realistically, it's just exhibitions for these people.
Yeah.
Like, just to put it on for them once a year.
Yeah, but I suppose it's not fair on the boxers to say that it's just an exhibition just because it's in Monaco. Because at the end of the day, boxing rings are boxing.
They're really pointing. But to these people who are watching, none of them are boxing fans.
For that people.
Oh mate, you could have stuck Ronda Rousey and fucking Rikishi, sent them out and they'd have enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh man, wait, I need to play reversely interview. Intro. Shit, I don't have it. Oh wait.
Reversely.
That people say that's where you go if you want your career to blow up.
California, man. That's
the land of the pedophiles.
Damn, that was fucking loud. All right, what's up, Reverse?
I'm good. How are all of you?
Pretty good. Are you watching this amazing card?
No, I didn't even know it was on.
Oh man, yeah. All right.
I mean, Butcho texts me and goes, "Do you want to wait till after the Lebedev fight?" Fucking good job we didn't. I would have been asleep, I think. God,
is it still happening? Is it still going?
Yeah, it's still going on. I mean,
oh man.
I think that actually the crowd look like they're fossilized. There's also like skeletons with cobwebs on them now. It's like the fight is that boring. They're fossilized in the crowd. I mean, just a horrible show. No, it's just a horrible show. I mean, I've got no interest in this fight. Sorry. I mean, if that makes me a casual, so be it. My tolerance levels on boxing, it's just my tolerance levels in life, full stop, are getting lower as I get older.
Mine have deflated completely.
Yeah, especially with boxing, man. My tolerance levels, man, really low at the moment.
I've just been watching soccer. So, Bucho, you really get all of those leagues.
Yeah,
Just
are
for
you really
paying
a soccer
$12 a
fan?
month for the zone?
Are you really a soccer fan, or you were just?
Yeah,
trolling?
my guys, we lost to the Hotspurs today.
Yeah, I'm a Chelsea fan as well. Are you a Chelsea fan, Reverse?
Indeed. If
Yeah,
if Morata was not such garbage, we might have been able to equalize.
Well, just put it this way. I mean, fucking out. I mean, David Luiz. I mean, that guy is a fucking bigger liability than a split condom, isn't he?
Usually he's a little bit better than that, but
Nah. And to Morata, let's be real. Every time I don't want to get into the football, but just one point. Every time we play Morata, we're actually starting with 10 men because the guy is constantly offside. It's like watching a 10-year-old learning how to play football. That's how bad this guy
basically
is.
somebody said even if Morata was a goalkeeper, he would find a way to be offside.
He's terrible, man. He's terrible.
I
really
bet.
I mean, we went from Diego Costa to him, man. Fuck's
Don't
sake.
tell me, Stu. You've been a Chelsea fan since like what, 2004 or something like that?
Since Abramovich come, I've heard it all. I get it all.
I'm being serious.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm gonna get the same comments too, yeah? Because I'm a Man City fan.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get the same.
All right.
They call me Chelsea rent boy, and I've only been a fucking Chelsea rent boy that's been a fan since Abramovich turned up. I mean, I remember going to Stamford Bridge, right? And I'll tell you how long ago this was. We were playing Wimbledon at home in the old Stamford Bridge. The stadium was that bad. I actually got stung all the way up my leg from stinging nettles coming out of the terrace, the ground. Do you know what I mean? And we lost 6-1 to Wimbledon at home. And that's how bad we were. So that's when I was going to games then. So I will not accept being called a glory hunter.
A plastic,
there you go.
how do you call them? Plastic fence? You're fake.
Yeah, there's no plastic about me, mate. We got relegated. I supported Chelsea when we was in the championship. What it is today.
Shit.
We got
relegated. So you're a real fan. I get it.
I'm a real fan. Yeah, I'm a real fan. I'm not like McGregor Boxing, who's been on the Man City, the Man City Guardiola.
Been on Man City a hot minute. Yeah,
the Guardiola hype train.
You want to know what the very first game I ever went to see, Stu?
I'm only joking, McGregor. I'm sure you. I'm only joking, bro.
What's the first game?
1998 in the FA Cup at Main Road against Aston Villa.
Yeah, the old Main Road. That's some stadium that was. I remember that. I've been there myself.
I see in the chat says Chelsea sucks, and I agree. All right, but let's move on.
Still better than United.
Hey, I think Azzy's always taking shots at me. Is it a female? I think it's a female as well.
Yeah, we talked about this. We thought maybe it was a female.
Maybe it's a secret crush she's got because it's a bit of a weird. it's a bit of a weird. Maybe it's my English accent that's it's getting excited. But where sometimes when you're at school you fancy someone, you pick on them just to like disguise it. I think that's what she might be doing.
Yeah, 5-year-olds do that. All right, let's recognize.
Don't get fooled when they tell you that the crime rate is down in New York. Every time I watch the local news, they're always talking about, well, there was a stabbing here, there was a stabbing there, there was a shooting there, but the crime is down.
All right, welcome to the show. Recognize.
What's going on?
Not much.
How's everybody doing?
Great. Yeah, enjoying this exciting card in the Monte Carlo Casino. And eventually we're going to start talking about the Charlo twins skipping VADA testing. So, just going to wait a bit.
Yes.
We're going to wait a bit. I know you wanted to talk about this. You told me to do a show.
I just want to trigger a few people, that's all.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, you know what? It's a good opportunity to make some people angry.
Yeah. Right after Thanksgiving. Best way to do it.
All right. So, well, I'm sure you're not watching this Monte Carlo card, right?
No, I'm not. I'm not watching no boxing right now. I'm actually at work, and I'm just listening to you guys. All I heard so far was that what the fuck is that little featherweight from the UK who's a hype job cheats.
Call your fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just about every fight, indeed.
He's super flyweight, isn't he?
Yeah,
Super flyweight.
WBA.
Yeah.
You were right about the other part, though.
What, that he cheats in every fight?
Yup.
Yeah. He's a fucking bum. But anyway, I heard he won by robbery. I didn't see the fight, so I can't say I agree.
And the crazy thing is, he actually lost to somebody that Euron Ancajas knocked out.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to fight that guy, don't he?
He doesn't want to fight anybody.
Yeah, fuck him. I can't wait till he gets knocked out. I hate I hate hype jobs like that. I just wish to see him like in a snuff film as the victim, you know? Somebody taking him out. I'm in a bad mood today.
Strap him to a table and put on an electric saw.
Yeah. Beat him with a bat a couple of times and then, end it. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was out of line.
All right. You know what? Let's start talking about the Charlos. So, apparently the Charlo brothers have been missing VADA testing. All right. Yep. So the WBC, what is it called? The WBC clean testing program. I don't know what it's called.
Clean boxing program. Yep.
Yeah.
The CBP.
CBP.
Yeah.
The Charlos missed more than once. So they skipped the testing. I don't know where they were. So I've been watching some videos. 3 videos I found only on YouTube. 3 videos. All right. Were on this subject, of course. They don't want to talk about it. And I heard some crazy excuses. One of them is that there's a conspiracy against the Charlos because they don't want Charlo to fight Canelo Alvarez. And so the WBC is doing something shady. But anyways, who wants to start? Your thoughts on this? Oh, wait, before we start, we have Jimmy on the line.
Hey, guys.
Wait, hold on. All right.
I had a bad trip at a wedding in Maine, and it was a stormy night, right? I'm on LSD. Oh, I was fucking freaking out. It was horrible. I'll never take it again.
All right. What's up, Jimmy?
What's going on, guys?
So you were right.
What's up, Jimmy?
It's happening. Yeah, it's a big conspiracy, right? Hey, listen, let us skip these mandatory fucking drug tests so it'll look like that, it's a conspiracy against us. That's whatever they say, they're trying to get out in front of it. Listen, when especially, right? Hey, everything's driven by social media. Look, we got a bunch of grown men talking about it on this, right? So everything, news travels. They know they live in the now, right? To miss that is a huge thing, and to be missed it many times, and not to fucking, throw my back out sucking my own dick, but didn't I say on more than one occasion I've heard some fucking rumors coming out of Shields' gym? I've said it a few times. And listen, this is how the first time I heard it, I was right around the corner at the gym here, right? It's a, Acre Boxing Club. And I said, somebody brought up one of Shields' fighters. I said, yeah, so Shields, he's got a pretty good stable, huh? And the guy really didn't even sink in. He just shot off right away. Because he was still watching the kid training. He goes, yeah, because I think the guy who cleans the floor there's got a degree in chemistry. So he kind of cracked wise. He goes, oh, no shit. He goes, yeah, he got a lot of help down there right here. So this is a guy who was, in the gloves in the 60s and 70s, an old-timer. So he's got, does reunions. So that's and it's a small community, and they talk. You know what I'm saying? So I heard that from him. I heard that actually somebody knows Mickey really well, who runs with some other guys who's tied into all this. And it's been so usually when there's smoke, there's fire, when you hear it on multiple sources. And then regardless, even if it's natural, fucking Spence got them swollen. He's got gyno. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, whether it's natural, which happens to 6%. So it's a fucking, small percentage, or it's induced from taking testosterone. So you got him who's a crazy knockout puncher, right? You got that big Nigerian kid who looks like a fucking Adonis. who just that kid walked out of the ring, he wouldn't fight him.
Yeah.
So and then you got the Charlos. And sadly, remember 2 years ago, 2016, what was the running gag, or the gag, not gag, but everybody was the headlines on Steve Kim. Everybody talked about it. It was like, wow, remember the Charlos when they first were coming up? They were more of fighters. One Charlo, in fact, was being touted as had no power at all. That's the one who just, blazed out the fucking kid in the first round. What's his name? Remember, he was
Lubin,
known as
when he beat Lubin,
yeah, exactly. He was the brother who had no. Yeah, he was the brother who had no power, and then the other one had decent power, and all of a sudden they're just banging people's lights out. It's just, and then you hear shit, and then now on top of that, they're missing fucking mandatory fucking drug testing, and you think the WBC wants to fucking, like, it costs them money. They're not in this because they give a fuck. If they blow a fight, if a fight ends up getting called on shit like this, it costs them money. They're only in it because they make money off the fight. But so usually when that's another thing, when they start running their mouth and making stupid excuses, just, you know what I mean? Oh, I was out with a girlfriend. Yeah, no, we stopped by and got breakfast. Shut the fuck up. I can smell it on your lip.
Yeah, the American Protection Program that I've been talking about. I mean, these guys are getting protected. They're not getting tested like everyone else. I mean, like I said, everyone else is getting busted for Vicks, for taking for a locket sweet for a sore throat. Have one of them, you're getting busted when you fight one of these guys. These guys are fucking eating Mexican beef, going to Ivan Drago's fucking gym, and still ain't getting tested. Do you know what I mean? It's just a joke. And it made me laugh because in the thumbnail there's a picture that Butcho's got of the Charlos. I think Fight Scout said in the comment section, looks like fucking Shalimar.
But remember on the PBC when they
make this a night to remember.
But remember, even on the PBC's page, that was on their intro page when they first came on the scene in 2015. On their second page, it was the first sentence. It said, "We're also committing, all PBC fighters are committed to a 24/7 fucking 365 year-round testing that will be permitted done in-house." The rumor goes what that was, Al Heyman put that all in. I guess he must have not known, and until the feelers went out, until too many people got back to him saying that's not a good idea, Al. And all of a sudden, because think about it, you can go, it's online right now. Go to their page; it still says it. That all and they never tested a single fighter. But how can you call somebody out on it when the man who runs the organization doesn't speak to anybody? If that was Aram who said that, all my fighters are going to be tested from now on, 24/7, and then didn't do a single one, he'd be getting crucified on a daily basis. But you can't crucify what you can't speak to. So,
by the way, we talked about the power that they acquired at some point in their careers. We talked about them skipping what the hell did I write here? Anyways, they skipped the testing, and some people mentioned that the Charlos, after they win a fight, they go a little bit berserk, shouting and going crazy. Is that a sign of something that they've been taking?
You can't control your rage. If you're amped up, I can't see them being on that much testosterone still. I just think that's a lack of. I just think they don't have the decorum to stop. You know what I mean? Okay. One of the Charlos didn't. I mean, his ex-girlfriend wrote a pretty horrific story about him. I don't know if you guys ever read that.
No.
I mean, he's not a good guy. I mean, beat her, fucking talk to her like she was, some ex-model or something. Yeah, I just actually read it the other day. It's pretty bad. Made me lose a lot of respect for the kid. So they're off the hook anyways down there. So you read that, you say, okay, I know now where your character is, who you are as a person. So are you going to cheat? You're going to smack a 110-pound girl around, but you're not going to fucking take steroids? Come on. Please. The fact people even made videos to say, this is why Sedley Charlos, he's turning his punches over. Oh, yeah, I saw a couple LDBC fucking heroes making videos trying to explain away the sudden power of the 154-pounder. It's just ridiculous. Again, isolation. They're their man that you're supposed to speak to, their person in charge of media, Tim Dizzle or Swizzle, he got like 130 followers on Twitter. That's the PBC spokesman. He has an egg for a fucking picture. So again,
that power could be coming from many sources of, drugs and stuff. When a guy all of a sudden displays unbelievable power, it could be attributed, maybe he's working out more and he's just learning how to punch better. But it also, what I look at from the Charlos is the way they react when they get a knockout. It's like, oh shit, this shit works, and they're like, like I can't believe this shit works, and they just like feel, at least with the bigger brother, not the bigger brother, the bigger twin, because they're both the same age, obviously. So because they're twins. But I think what makes them look suspicious is their attitude, the testosterone level that they have in the ring. When they get hyped up and they're like fucking, wide-eyed and it just looks unnatural. It looks to me like they're on something.
Well, remember he smoked J-Rock too? Remember right before he went up, he smoked J-Rock. And J-Rock, I mean, for whatever people think of him, this kid, he's been in there with a lot of good guys, even inspiring. And, he immediately after the fight said, he hit a lot harder than...
I spoke to J-Rock, and I spoke to him, and he told me, okay, when I say I spoke to him on a podcast with what's his name? Cameron. And so he said he punched a lot harder than I thought. I thought he was having success against Charlo in their fight, and it just got, he just got blasted.
And that's weird for a kid that at that level to say harder, because they usually expect people. So when somebody hits harder than you expect at that level, it doesn't usually happen. I'm just saying there's a lot of smoke. I've heard rumors. You got the biggest punches, right? Spence, that's his claim to fame. He can crack. He's got the swollen nipples to go with it. I mean, again, that can be attributed to 6% of fucking people have that happen to them. Is he one of the 6%? Again, it's 6 out of 100, right? So I don't know. It's just, and now to miss these things and to try to get out in front of it with that, like you said, that lame ass excuse. Listen, when you go, that's what you do. You attack. If you're busted and you're really going to hang out, you dig your heels in and try to fight it, you try to put the light on something else. That's like fucking 101.
Jimmy, what was his excuse?
Well, I just heard somebody say, I think Bucho was just saying that, because it's a WBC conspiracy that they don't want him to fight. So my point is, even if that was because they don't want, Canelo doesn't want to fight him, so they're trying to make him look bad or make him something, or they can use it as an excuse why they're ducking him. But if that was the case, again, so that's predicated on them skipping the test. So Canelo's people motivate, okay, his test is this week. Man, if he misses it, we're good. You know what I mean? It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, they've also said that now Abel Sanchez was use this, what just happened, as an excuse for Golovkin not to fight Charlo. I mean, what the fuck? I don't know. But these are people on YouTube, like, who cares?
But he already fought a juice freak twice.
And then what about this, right? Charlo brothers it's been pretty good, right? For the most part, they haven't shit-talked Canelo for the most part, and they haven't shit-talked definitely Triple G. In fact, the middleweight's been pretty quiet about Triple G. And suddenly, right when the news breaks about him, missing these things, he's on fucking doing interviews saying, he's a pussy. Come on. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, man, shit. I mean, whatever. I would, if I was Harrison, well, see, again, he's in no position. He's not the champion. But I'd say pull a fucking hair, fool. Bullshit. We can do this, pull a hair. We don't even have to make it fucking, we'll keep it private. If you fail, the fight will be off. I won't even expose you. But if he says, I ain't doing that, the dude's dirty.
Now, I've also heard that the Charlos may have been on vacation or somewhere where the VADA testers couldn't find them. But shouldn't they be advising that were letting Vara know where they are. You know what I mean?
I mean, not if they were doing this part-time, as a hobby, but figuring this is what, gets them their money, and this is what they're doing for a living. Do you think they would have to find Triple G? Do you think they would, oh shit, we can't find him, he's on vacation somewhere when he has a fight in 3 weeks? Listen, this is this is what you do, and no, come on. You make yourself available. You don't get lost.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's not good, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it.
What's the likelihood of getting out?
I don't even know I'm going to watch this fight. I don't know. I've checked. Don't know what channel it's on in the UK. Can't find it. So if anyone in the chat can tell me where these bum-ass fights are shown in the UK, if I decide to stay up, then I know where to go.
Well, do you have Fox? Do you have Fox in the UK?
Oh, no, because the fucking the liberal social justice warriors that run our country took Fox off the.
Oh yeah, because Fox is a generally more conservative network.
Yeah,
they
took Fox off.
Protest against.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, we still get CNN. We still get CNN and NBC,
CNBC, MSNBC.
Dude,
yeah.
I feel sorry for you, man. You guys are fucked over there, man.
Well, yeah. Oh, mate, countries. The thing is, though, the problem is what they're doing to us because we're voting Conservative. Most of us are Conservative. Obviously, when you go to London, it's a fucking liberal hellhole, and that's why most of them are getting raped and stabbed up, and then they're still calling for diversity. I mean, that's their brains are gone. But it's a hellhole. But most people in the country mostly are Conservatives. But the problem is when we go and vote a Conservative party to get us the Brexit we want out, these are fucking these are sheep and wolves closing. Wolves closed. Sorry, is it? These fucking people are not fucking Conservatives. They're lefties. So when you vote a Conservative in, you're not getting a Conservative. You're getting a Democrat, a lefty. So what can we do? We've got nowhere to turn. The only thing we can do is fucking go to civil war. That's not going to
happen.
That's like going to the store and buying a box of Frosted Flakes, and then you open it up and you get Honey Nut Cheerios.
Exactly. Disappointment.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk about politics at the end, like always. All right. So anybody else wants to comment?
Yeah, but back onto the Fox thing. They took Fox off, so we won't be able to. I won't be able to watch that. It was on the normal Fox channel then.
Well, yes, Stu. It was on the normal. It's on Saturday night, 3 days before Christmas, I believe.
No, I'm on about. There's some fights on tonight, aren't there, in America? No.
Oh yes, that's well, no, isn't that the
Evil Pascal? Is
that the Wilder?
No, when is that?
It's no, it's not. Is it Pascal Bivol? Where's that?
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's in Atlantic City, I think.
So yeah, I don't know where I'm going to watch these PBC cards.
Oh no, it is Atlantic. Yeah, I think is it Atlantic City, Bucho?
I'm checking. Oh, by the way, that's pay-per-view over here. That's $75. I'm not kidding you. Yeah.
For what fight?
For Bivol against Pascal. It's pay-per-view over here.
Because he's Canadian. Is that?
He's pretty famous.
What it has to do with?
Yeah, he's popular. But I don't think he's that popular that people are gonna have paid $70-something.
Is he more popular than Stevenson?
Yeah. For sure.
That's terrible, man. I know there's a certain uploader who'll be shitting his pants if he heard that right now.
Oh, sorry. $70 HD.
Yeah, $70 is still a lot of money.
Yeah, I know. Garbage. I'm not paying for that.
Pascal? Never would I pay $70.
Nah.
I mean, I'd watch it because I like Bivol, and he's got the best footwork right now in boxing, in my opinion. But I wouldn't pay $70 to watch him fight Pascal. No way.
No way.
I mean, how is Pascal still conning a pay-per-view living at the Canadian people? I mean, this guy is finished. This guy was finished 6 years ago, man. So, I mean, it's amazing how he keeps getting his pay-per-view fights.
Did you see Nordic Warriors video on that fight?
Bivol and Pascal?
Yeah, he said that basically what's happening to Bivol is they're gonna build him up just like they did Kovalev so that they can rob him with some some Amero bum. So the best thing for Bivol to do is to stop fighting in North America and just carry his title on to into Eastern Europe.
Yeah, but the
and
money.
build more of a fan
Well, at least
base
he don't
there.
have to deal with HBO anymore, so he might not, he might have a little bit more control of what goes on.
That's true.
So that it could probably work out for him.
Yeah, but I don't know. First of all, which American are they planning to having fight at some point? I don't know. There's no Andre Ward, and
No
I don't see it.
unless
Andre Ward did allude that he wanted to have a comeback with Bivol.
Now hold on. I heard that Stevenson wanted to fight Tony Bellew if Tony Bellew won. But now that
Stevenson shouldn't be fighting anybody because his mandatory is Vosdick, so that's the only person he should really be fighting.
They are fighting, no?
They are fighting.
Yeah, yeah, they are fighting. Yep.
They finally scheduled that. What is it in the next 2 years?
No,
February.
Actually,
yeah.
Let
me check.
So they postponed it from December to February.
Oh, it might be. Oh, it might be in December. No, dude, I'm stoned.
I thought it was December.
I haven't been keeping up with any of the schedules, so I don't know.
It's scheduled for. No, that's wrong. It says December 1st, but that.
Oh, so it's next week.
Is it happening? Wait, hold on. I thought it wasn't happening. That's weird.
I'm not sure.
I'm on Abztract, and it says December 1st.
Okay, so then it's.
But there's a question mark next to it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's happening.
Mark.
Good promotion, huh? Good promotion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Nobody knows about it.
Stevenson's promoter sucks.
Oh, it's.
Maybe they're doing a good job in Canada, but like.
Nah, nobody knows.
What does doing a good job in Canada really mean?
Yeah.
I mean, how has Stevenson been allowed to keep that belt? Basically fighting barely any mandatories, any decent opponents, really. I mean, I know Badou Jack was a good draw for him because I thought Badou Jack won that. But Badou Jack's the best name he's had for a while. I mean, he was getting away with fighting the Fonfaras of this world. Fonfara's half decent, but he's not top level. He was never going to beat Stevenson. I mean, this guy, man, he's been allowed to keep that belt hostage for many years. Another WBC fighter that seems. I mean, Wilder's the same. I mean, Wilder doesn't seem to. He's the only fighter I know that doesn't have to fight mandatories. Everyone else has to fight mandatories, but not Wilder. And I'm seeing a lot of this with this. This WBC is an absolute disgrace of a belt. It might be. It might have a lot of history behind it, and everyone might say that it's the main belt. Not for me, though. Not for me anymore. Having the WBC belt, it's not about being the best anymore. It's about geography. Where you're from, who your promoter or manager is, and basically that's it. They've got a nice little clique going over there, and that's why they like to keep it in house so they can protect these fighters. And that's what they're doing with Spence. I mean, fair play to Spence. He came to the UK and he took the title off Kell Brook. Not a lot of Americans are going to come to the UK to try and fight someone like Kell Brook to win a title. So a lot of them would bottle it. So he did do that. But once he's won that belt, they've protected him ever since.
Well, if he had help, right? Who said? If he had extra confidence, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's just it's the protection program, bro. And Spence is a ped user, man. The guy has got fucking. Well, anyone that knows anything about peds, you know yourself, Jim. You took them yourself. That guy's a ped user. You know he is. Recognise knows he is. Precise knows he is. Butcher, we all know he's a ped user. He's not getting tested, bro. He's not. He's not signing up to these programs. Our British fighters are being told they can't fight for the WBC belt if they don't sign up to these programs. But yet, a lot of these.
So he hasn't been tested either. He hasn't been tested either.
What, Errol Spence?
Yeah.
No, Spence hasn't been tested. How has Spence been tested, man?
No, I know. I was asking. I'm asking you, wow, he really hasn't been tested either?
No, of course he hasn't, bro.
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow.
This is what I'm saying. Do you know the only one that's fucking really earned his way to the top out of them all them PBC boys and fights, and it's Sean Porter. He's the only one that really can stand there at the table and hold his head up high, because he's had to do it the hard way, fight everyone. He's had a few dodgy decisions along the way, but he's fought the best. Thurman, Garcia, Brook, he's fought them all. So,
not for nothing. His father. Oh, sorry.
No, go on, Jim.
No, I'm sorry. The stupid delay. I was just going to say his father's a quality guy. I like Kenny Porter a lot. His father, he's honest, man. He's a straight shooter, and I've always respected him. And he's been always in, Sean's life, and I think that's, like you said, that's just credit to what you said. So go on, dude. Sorry about that.
Sean Porter's the one out of all them fighters at the PBC. He's the one that I've got the most respect for. Sean Porter. He's had to do it the hard way. He's the one. He's the patsy, shall we say? The one that they've tried to throw away, sort of thing. He's the Lee Harvey Oswald of PBC. They're just throwing him in there to get him fucking taken out, sort of thing. But he keeps fighting. Winning these fights, he keeps doing well, and they keep surprising him, because let's be real, they thought Garcia was going to beat him. They thought Thurman was going to do him in style, when a lot of people thought he won that fight.
Now, do you think Spence Garcia is going to be tested? And that's a pay-per-view too. Yeah, do you think? Yeah, because I can't see Garcia's people being that stupid, not forcing him to be tested.
Well, I actually said on the show the other day, when I saw them squaring up, I thought Errol Spence had adopted a little Mexican kid for the day or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's great. No, he's so much bigger.
He's so much bigger than this guy. He's
like size.
He looks like 4 or 5, maybe 5 or 6 inches taller.
That's like if Triple G fought Timothy Bradley.
It's a bit reminding me like David Hay Valiev sized it.
It looked bigger than Lomachenko Rigondeaux.
Oh, way bigger, much bigger. These Spence fans got so much egg on their face. Listen. I don't dislike.
And by
Spence.
Egg, we mean
cum.
cum.
Yeah, cum, exactly.
What? Right.
They got cum on their face.
We used to have a panelist, right?
I don't dislike Earl Spence, I'm my Earl Spence hater. I hate his fans. That's why I hate. This one in particular, I won't say his name. I just don't like the way he tries to trash other people just to big him up, and then ignore the most obvious fucking cherry pick you can ever try to make, which is him versus Mikey Garcia. The size difference is insane. It's bad.
I wonder what that panelist is going to say.
It's so bad that it looks like a fucking middleweight, a big one at that, versus like a junior lightweight. That's what it looks like to me. It doesn't look real.
Let's get
Lennox Lewis. Looks like Lennox Lewis versus Earl Spence.
All right, let's introduce Precise.
Dependent upon how you interpret the data. What's up with all the transvestites in Hollywood, though? Because if you're a postmodernist and you don't have any standards, you're always going to keep moving the goalpost, and you're never going to stick to your own standards because you don't have any standards.
All right, Precise, what's up?
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Perfect. All right,
yes,
what we're talking about? So, you have the floor.
No, I just jumped on. I was listening earlier, but I just recognized talking about Spence and Spence's fans. I'm gonna let that one go, though.
No, well, the general topic here about the twins skipping VADA testing. So, what do you think about that?
Well, I don't know the circumstances, but I heard you guys saying that the Ugly One's fight is coming up soon.
The ugly one? Which
the ugly
one?
Millie.
Casey or Devontae?
No, that's Millie. Or is it Vanilli? I'm not sure.
Right. It's Vanilli, the older one. Yeah, December 23rd.
Right. The light-skinned one.
Yeah, 22nd of this month, or December 22nd.
Right, so I agree with the sentiment that
Casey or JoJo. I've also said Casey or JoJo.
Yeah, that's Casey or Devontae. That's Casey and Devontae. Every time I close my... every time I see them, I think they're going to start singing.
For real. Girl, you know it's true.
Hey, aren't they both dead now? Aren't both those fools dead?
Oh, I don't know. They're definitely coked up somewhere. Oh, wait.
Well, I know one committed suicide, and I think the other one OD'd.
Oh, damn.
I guess not. I guess if it's not that different. Yeah, I know definitely one offed himself.
Damn. I didn't know that. Yeah, I know they had some.
Oh, I wasn't trying to get. I mean, fuck it. That was some funny ass shit, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are you old enough to remember that shit, or you just like from history?
No, yeah. When they were big, how old was I? I must have been like 14, 15. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
I never really followed them like that, so I don't.
Who are you talking about, Jimmy?
Manili Vanilli. That was crazy.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, because they didn't actually sing. They were just.
No, they were two German models.
Exactly.
They were
I don't think they were German. I think they were Swedish or something like that.
Well, they were living in Germany. That's where they were discovered. So they could have been from anywhere, but I know they were discovered. They were models. And what happened? They had a producer who actually wrote those, and they were catchy dance tunes for the day. But the people who sang just weren't pretty, and it was the MTV. So they got out there and fucking. What about the best is when they got exposed and they got in front of the microphone and they tried. You know what it is when you sing without the echo and it's just not the same. And they try to sing right there at the fucking press conference. You know it's true, and it sound nothing like it. Oh, it was so embarrassed. Oh, it was painful.
It's funny that Precise sang a bit Shalimar because I'm a big Shalimar fan. I got their albums. I listened to them quite a bit, and it just made me laugh when he sang it.
Was it in Haymanites who got suspended for tweeting out Soul Glow or something? He put fire with Soul Glow and he got fucking Twitter suspending him or something.
Why? It was too sensitive? Was it so sensitive?
Somebody reported him. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. It was fucking...
You don't want to hurt people's feelings and shit,
There was this one... Funny. There was this one guy who he made...
We know words hurt more than violence.
Oh, shit. Everybody dropped. Except Stu. That's weird.
Yeah, again, the Brit taking it to the wire. Never quits.
Yeah, exactly. All right, everybody's coming back.
The Puerto Rican soon got out of there early.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, yo, not to hijack the thread, or maybe I won't.
No, go on, bro.
Michael Hunter, I don't know if you guys know, just stopped
just watched
Ustinov.
The giant.
Did you guys talk about that yet?
Yeah, I think if you'd seen the Ustinov's performance, then it was terrible. Probably one of the worst performances I've seen in a boxing ring for many years.
What performance?
Terrible.
There was no performance. Absolutely nothing. He was just a big guy. But
yeah,
you gotta give now some more credit to Usyk though a bit. I mean, the guy's moving up. Hunter.
That's just the thing, you got someone like Michael Hunter who, no one thought he was that good at cruiserweight, right? No one was picking him to do much in the division. Moves up to heavyweight, and just the fact that he's smaller, slicker, more agile, he could take out big guys. Now I know Ustinov is 41 and old, but Michael Hunter wasn't really that good at cruiserweight anyway. No. So it just goes to show you how a little guy could succeed. A little guy at a certain level, could succeed at that same level at heavyweight.
I just said exactly the same earlier, didn't I, Butcho? I said this is an eye-opener for the speed difference from a cruiserweight to one of these big, slow, clumsy heavyweights. And a lot of people say, but look at the size difference. It doesn't matter how big these guys are. If you're 15 and a half stone and you're landing shots on that button constantly, it's like you're going to wear them down or take them out eventually. And the speed difference, fucking Hunter looked like Clay in there, a young Cassius Clay in there. That's how fucking slick he looked compared to Ustinov. And Ustinov, he fought with fear tonight. I think maybe, when you try, as you get a bit older, you try to do things you used to be able to do when you were younger, and it just doesn't happen anymore. You try, and the brain's telling you what to do, but the body's not responding. And I think that's what we got with Ustinov. I just think the body gave up on him. It's slow, lethargic, just waiting to get knocked out. I think he was just lunging forward, waiting to walk onto one, just put me out of my misery, sort of thing. It's just
but
terrible performance.
Did you
I
see?
can't see him getting a license anytime soon, man. Fuck's sake.
Did you see after the fight, Hasim Rahman, who's Hunter's trainer, they were both acting like they just knocked out heavyweight champion George Foreman or something. I mean, it was a bit out of control.
They were just fantasizing about beating Usyk like that.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, he looked a bit flabby. He looked a bit flabby. I'm talking about Hunter. So maybe he should put on a little bit more muscle and he can be dangerous, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
He had a lot of flab around the waist. I noticed that. Fuck me. I think he borrowed Hasim Rahman's gut that night. Fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? He had a lot of flab around his. So
but
it's obvious he's not his natural weight. If he has to be flabby to get to heavyweight, then maybe he should go down cruiserweight. On Sky, they were saying that he's just doing it for his dad's legacy because his dad was a heavyweight or something to do with that. They reckon once he's got himself some small little title that he's going to go back to.
Yeah, but this is again, to be fair, this isn't a Mr. Olympia contest, So if you can fight at heavyweight, if you look flabby, nobody cares. But I just remembered. Do you guys remember those pay-per-view Don King cards, which were all heavyweights? That was in the mid 2000s. Okay, so remember there was this heavyweight. I don't remember his name. I know he was called the Jedi. His nickname was the Jedi, like Star Wars. And anyways, this guy was flabby and he had tits because he was so fat. And then he was fighting this other guy. I don't remember who it was, but anyways, in the corner of his opponent, they're like, "Come on, guy." His trainer goes like, "Come on, you're losing to a guy. You're losing to a guy with titties."
The Jedi Master of Flab.
You lose it to
hey, come on.
What's wrong?
You're losing to a guy with titties.
But just because you're a little flabby, and I'm not talking about tits here, that doesn't mean you're out of shape, you know what I mean? And Hunter definitely is in shape. And a little bit of fat could help some guys.
Well, I think Riddick Bowe was a prime example. Guy looked in horrible shape, but yet went to war with Holyfield for
Daniel Cormier.
I mean, look at David Tua in his heyday. Yeah. David Tua was not masculine in terms of cuts. He was kind of like a big, solid fat guy, but he can fucking rip your head off. Yeah.
Fury.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Fury's another one.
Yeah, that was Riddick Bowe's problem too. I mean, he was able to put together a couple of 3 good, insane training camps, but other than that, he was a lazy, self-admitted lazy McDonald's eater. He used to say, "Slug down 6 Big Macs." He didn't get kicked out. Maybe he couldn't even make it through basic training. He got drummed out of the army.
He was just a big man that had a lot of power. So he thought that he can get away with that, for the duration of his career. But he knew the writing was on the wall. He knew what was going to happen after a couple of those Galata fights.
I thought the Galata fights, though, he looked a lot smaller in the Galata fights than he did.
Well, the first one, he was pretty big and big, like in terms of the way he always comes in. But the second fight, I know what you mean, Stu. He came in pretty light for that fight because he got a lot of slack for being fat. Yeah. For the first fight, and even though the fight was stopped because of the low blows, right? It looked to me like he was gassed that day. He was just that night. Excuse me. He was. To be fair to him, when someone's punching you in the bollocks like that, then it's going to take a lot. But even before that, you're right. Now, I would agree that when he was getting hit below the belt, it started to look even worse for him. But even before that, he was getting outboxed. He was just getting outboxed for the first 3-4 rounds.
Recognize you were at the riot, right?
I don't know what you guys mean by low blows. That shit was borderline.
You want to know something? I've said this on the show. I've said this on the show. I had no idea until I got home after I spent a couple of days in jail that he hit him low. I had no idea what was going on. I thought they stopped the fight and the Riddick Bowe fans lost their mind. That's what I thought happened.
Yeah, to be fair, a lot of them were legal, but the ones that weren't were clear.
They were low. They were low.
Yeah,
right. But live, it just looked like he was hitting him to the body.
Did he just recently die, Galata? Was he the one who just recently died?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
Did he Galata? No, Galata didn't die. Oh, that I'm aware of.
Well, he's white and lives in South Africa, so it ain't long anyway. No, I thought I already died.
Well, he might die eventually, but
we're all gonna die.
Yeah, we're all gonna die.
I'm not gonna die.
I love it.
With his diet, the meat diet.
That.
Well, he knows what to eat, so he's good. You know,
I'm gonna go vegan and live forever. That's the story anyway.
That's not what I hear. You go vegan.
Did you guys hear Michael Hunter's? Sorry, bro. Did you guys hear Michael Hunter's excuse for losing to Usyk?
No.
He was vegan at the time.
Shit.
That's what he said.
Too much story.
No, I thought the excuse was
vegans are gonna go after him.
That's all I thought.
No, that's what they said.
They have the studies, right? The soy actually.
I tell you what, he would have been a vegetable if that fight had gone any longer. Fucking hell.
Seriously.
Jesus, he was getting his. That referee was fucking.
That referee,
terrible.
I tell you what, that referee should have been suspended. I mean, he could have actually finished Hunter's career.
I consider that a TKO to me.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. After that fight, after that fight, I said I'd be very surprised if I see Hunter in a boxing ring again performing. I thought it could actually finish his career, that beating he took in that 12th round. But to be fair to the guy, he's gone back to the drawing board and he's getting himself a nice little run going. And he's going to be on the December 22nd card in the UK. And they're talking about Takam, Michael Hunter Takam, and 22nd. I don't know. Is that the Chisora fight, 22nd? Gillon White?
Yes. I think he's going to be on the undercard, and they're talking about Takam, so that wouldn't be a bad fight for Hunter Takam. Yeah, that's a small heavyweight, so Michael Hunter could win that fight. And
I think so. Yeah.
Hey, Buccio, where did you get that article where they said they were on vacation or they couldn't reach him because they were on vacation?
That was just people on YouTube talking.
Oh, okay.
That's that's why I said, it's just, Charlo apologists that are bringing this crazy excuses.
Because I'll tell you what they would normally do in that situation. If you're on vacation or you're a fighter and they wanted to test you, obviously they can get a hold of you. It's cell phones, unless he's in, Bora Bora or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, but what they would usually do is send you to an accredited hospital, if there's one there, and just have a medical staff take whatever, if it's blood, which I don't even think it is, just urine, and they would just... But you know what I mean? If that was like they could even sign off on that, I don't know if VADA has a certain thing. It has to be someone with VADA hold it and touch it at all times. I don't know.
They could just subcontract to anybody, man.
Exactly.
I mean, if your country has an Olympic team, like they could get you there because WADA's got an office and they have somebody there. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Exactly.
Worldwide.
Exactly.
So if I vacation in Bora Bora, I don't have to do drug testing.
So they didn't even want to bother.
I don't think
they didn't even want to bother with the testing, so they're not serious about it. That's what I'm understanding here.
But aren't both of them fighting soon?
They both missed it too. Yes, they both fighting on the same card
in like 3 weeks.
Yes, in 3 weeks.
No way they're on vacation. They're in training camp, bro. Come on.
Anybody think this is an accident?
It's true.
Exactly what Precise just said. I mean, this is not.
They overslept.
Yeah.
The dog ate the note.
They had a Jodeci reunion.
Jodeci was awesome.
Did you guys hear the story about
Jodeci?
They look like them, boy.
The UFC fighter Wanderlei Silva. Apparently, they were gonna test him. I think it was Wanderlei Silva. Or anyways, so that the team was the testers, whatever you want to call them, they were gonna show up to the gym. So this Wanderlei Silva noticed them, so he started running away. and he ran and ran, and then like his excuse was like, "Oh, I don't speak English or something. I couldn't understand what they were saying." And he just ran through the back door of the gym or something like that. So
I think it was Jose Aldo, bro.
Yeah, because you're right. Because Wanderlei Silva speaks English, so yeah, it was Jose Aldo, I think.
Wanderlei Silva is what? What is he? Brazilian?
Brazilian, yeah. You can also follow the test.
He was running and screaming, "Que isso? Que isso? Que isso?"
But even if they wanted to follow the test, like if you wanted to follow the test, it's very easy. All you got to do is you can only do it once, and then but you dip your fingertip in bleach or any like bleach or there's another one too. And as you piss in the cup, you just hit the stream right off your fingertip, and it'll fuck the test all up, and at least buy you another time.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways it could have been tested. It doesn't make sense. I mean, we're just trying to find excuses for these guys. Come on.
Listen, I could care less about all these fucking testings. I'm being honest with you. It's just that it's being used for political reasons. And fuck the Charlos. If they were doing anything that was wrong and they didn't follow protocols, I want to see them punished.
Well, they'd be calling out other fighters too. They'd be pissing dirty or ducking, drug tests, and then to come out and call fucking G and Canelo pussies because they're ducking them. I mean, whatever. Don't look good.
Now, Jimmy, it's interesting what you mentioned about the Charlos, how they didn't have a lot of power at the beginning of their career.
No. They were described as one brother had decent power, which is the middleweight now, Jamal, I think, or Jamal, I don't know.
Jamal,
and then and then the middleweight was the one who didn't have power. And it was actually talked about. People, like I said, made videos about, trying to explain it away. Because suddenly, and then he roasted Lubin, who was never even off his feet in his pro career, and he got iced in the first round by an uppercut.
And he looked so much smaller when he fought Jamel, the smaller twin. He looks so much smaller than Jamel to me. Like in terms of the width of their backs, he was way smaller.
And remember Lubin
with the punching thing, though. With the punching thing, don't you think just growing into an older man and technique, constantly throwing these shots in the gym, you can get your technique better and get a little bit more power in the shots? Because Josh Warrington's another one. That guy, I mean, Josh Warrington, I think it was about 21 fights, 21 wins. I think he had about 2 KOs. But he wasn't hurting anyone. As he's gone along, he's starting to... Hang on a minute, Jimmy. As he's going along, he's starting to hurt world-class fighters now, Josh Warrington. But before, he wasn't hurting journeymen. I mean, it seems like he's got a bit more power in his shots. And is that technique? Is that what? Is that steroids?
It could be technique. No, it could be technique, Stu. You're right. But what I'm saying is, look, with all the drugs that are going around, don't tell me that there's nothing to see here. When both of these guys display and look the part, they look like guys that are, fucking around with something that boosts up their testosterone. When you're a young man, your testosterone's already running high, and they're all over the place. Now this, and look who they're aligned with. And remember, I believe that they didn't do testing for the J-Rock fight.
Jimmy, you wanted to say something?
Oh no! I was telling my dog to get off me, and I thought I was mute. I heard him say, "Hold on, Jimmy." I'm like, "Oop!" and I hit the mute button. But no, fire away.
All right.
Yeah, the J-Rock fight. I thought they didn't do testing for that fight, and he fucking iced Charlo.
Sorry, Stu's choking.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
well, didn't Lubin say? I believe Lubin. People, of course, jumped on him. He just making excuses. But I remember it wasn't about a couple of days after that fight. He, alluded to made references to Charlo was juicing. I mean, like I said, I mentioned it on this show more than once that I heard rumors. It's a small community, and when you hear from 2 different gyms.
I remember when I had my channel and I was giving some of the American fighters a bit of stick for not putting on the line. Fighting on the back foot, stinking the joint out, fucking just horrible, horrible way of fighting. And I was at the time there was a lot of that going on, so I was giving them some bit of stick. And this American guy texts me, goes, "I don't like the way you keep running these American fighters down. You need to look into some of these young kids coming through." He goes, "Check Erickson Lubin out." He goes, "You'll really like that guy." He goes, he's going to be someone special. And then he fought Charlo. Lasted about 45 seconds. And I texted him back. I said, "Yeah, I checked him out, that Lubin, all 45 seconds of him." Do you know what I mean? For fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? They were talking about this guy like he was going to be something special. He went in there, took one little glazing shot to the head, and he was sleeping. I mean,
and you see,
Charlo is, like I said, when you look at Charlo's KO ratio, it's not like
50%.
Yeah, it's like around 58%. It's not massive power.
I don't think even that
KO ratio.
Now, could it be that, they say that when you reach 25 years of age, I think that's when you reach your full man strength, if you can call it like that.
I think around 27, 28 is where.
Well, how old is Jojo Diaz?
24, 25.
I have no idea.
And I'm just saying, he'll be somebody. That's his minor. I would say his drawback is his lack of punching power. It's just it's a rare thing. It can happen that you can teach yourself power, but usually not at that level. You don't usually go in with what you got. If you're not, and he did. He had a very low punching. It wasn't until just recently he started blowing everybody out. But
I remember reading a comment. After Lubin got knocked out, they said he looked like a fly that was stuck to the floor.
He got slipped, man.
It looked like he was trying to get up, but it looked like his body kept weighing him down.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Charlo displayed some heavy punching power in that fight. But it goes to show you that Al Heyman, he will put in, he can put in 22-year-old prospects, which Lubin was at the time, against a dangerous fighter. It's just that he chooses to do it with guys he really doesn't care about.
Yeah, see, the thing is, if Eddie Hearn had Lubin, he'd have brought Lubin up the right way. Lubin was still young. Lubin was very exciting when he let his hands go. I thought, I like the way he fought, but it's obviously he's got holes, and very alarming when he's taken a glance. All right, it was a good shot from Charlo, but that shouldn't have been causing that effect. I mean, it looked like he'd been shot in the head by an American sniper. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it was very alarming for me. And I don't think we've seen much of Lubin since, have we? I think it was a devastating knockout. Shot his confidence to pieces. And that's what happens when you stick these young guys in with dangerous fighters and they get blown away. You can actually ruin their careers. And I think...
Heyman treats his fighters by how much he owns them, how big of a piece. Like, he owns Charlo straight up. They don't promote for anybody else. Prime example is Prograis, rather. Prograis with Heyman, but he's also with another. That's why he's fighting on Top Rank, and even Bob was promoting him. I think when his contract is over, he's going to go full-time over there. Well, I also wanted to say, too, when the Zone first came out, I just still don't like the name. But actually, it's grown on me. I think it's going to do well. In fact, I know from what I'm reading, it is doing well. And I agree with you, Bucho. You guys got it's an awesome deal in Canada.
It sure is.
Football and everything. It really is, man. I'm actually like fucking.
It's better than the expensive cable I have.
No, I'm happy.
Oh yeah, definitely. You get a lot of sports here. I mean, you get the NFL. You get, like I said, a lot of the soccer leagues. The major
my
ones.
only thing, though,
Premier League, League One.
Yeah, but my thing, I'm sorry to cut you guys off, but this is my concern, though. Is it because they got Canelo under, of course, $365 million or whatever. But is it true, though, when he's going to fight, you're paying the Zone, but it's still a pay-per-view?
No, it's not. No.
What? So there's no pay-per-views? No, that's what I'm asking. There's no pay-per-views to the Zone?
Canelo's he's getting paid no matter who he fights. He could fight fucking Bob the Builder and he's still getting 35 million. It doesn't matter. So the Zone have already...
Did you see that? Did you see the tweet breaking down? I think it comes out like the 32 cents a second for the next 5 years. It's crazy. But what I meant is, I don't know if the Zone was going to do pay-per-views to recoup some of their money with their star fighters. Yes.
Canelo's deserved this contract because he's gone and fought the best. He brings money to the table, and he's fought the best. I don't care. I know Canelo gets a lot of stick in this chat. There's a lot of Canelo haters that listen to this show, and they expect me to get in line and slag Canelo off, and I'm not going to fucking do it. I think the guy's a special talent, and he's proved himself time and time again. And even against styles that just don't suit him, he's not ducking styles like certain fighters are. He's not fighting bums like certain fighters are. I mean, don't even compare Charlo's resume to Canelo's in the last couple of years. So this guy's deserved this contract, and that's why he's getting this money. You can't just fight bums and expect to get big money like Wilder. Wilder thinks he deserves his own contract like that. He thinks he deserves 50-50 against Joshua. When the guy is struggling to sell out an arena in LA against Tyson Fury.
He didn't sell out his own hometown. I mean, wrap your head around that. The heavyweight champion of the world at the time for 2 years, and he didn't sell out his hometown arena. Just if you pause on that, like drop the mic, that tells you everything you need to know about that dude.
I wonder what the excuse is. I mean, it can be racial.
He was never promoted. His promoter's based out of New York. You know, I mean,
that's a reality. Yeah.
So what you got to do is when you're promoting a fighter, you have to make him a name in his hometown first. You can't take a nobody you can't take a guy that's a nobody in his own town and expect to make him a name in another town in the States. It just don't work like that.
No, that's the whole premise of boxing. You always show the backstory, a hometown hero. You know, the kid who, you know, I mean, that's why Arum still does it. Look at all his fighters, Ramirez. You know what I mean?
I think that's why Crawford signed with Arum, so he could fight in Nebraska, big crowds. You know, why is he going to sign a Heyman and fight somewhere
in Barclay?
Some other side of the country with no one watching.
No, and so my question was Canelo, Joshua, his big name stars, and probably I would assume Triple G's going to end up on with Hearn too. I was just asking, with the elite, say top 5 fighters, does anybody know, will those guys be placed on separately? Will that be on top of, you know, the zone? Will it be pay-per-view fights too? Because I heard in the beginning they were going to have, because remember Eddie said he reserved the right for like Joshua to be on pay-per-views, and I would think that Canelo's at.
I remember Butch was saying with the $12 a month, you do get at least all of the Canelo fights.
You do get, that's what they said. You get the Canelo fights.
Okay.
I'm going to be watching Canelo.
Again, I'm just asking the zone, right? If you got the zone, you get all of whatever the contract, what is it, a 10-fight deal?
Yeah.
Now, what about Joshua? Is that going to be pay-per-view or is that covered on the zone?
Supposedly on the zone. I mean, there's a trailer on the zone,
Joshua
and it shows Canelo and
free on the zone.
Okay. No, I was just wondering. Again, I'm ignorant.
Jimmy, you're right. I mean, asking. Jimmy, if Joshua ends up fighting Wilder, then there's gonna have to be a compromise by any of the parties. So it might be a pay-per-view because maybe I don't know if they're gonna want Wilder to join the zone. So.
Well,
even for one
fight. It would have to be a pay-per-view no matter what, because think about it. People will just join the zone. Say if you just want to watch that one fight, I'm just going to join this app, you know, and cancel it after. You get 30 days.
True, yeah.
So there's no way. There's no way. Nobody will buy a pay-per-view. That's got to be a pay-per-view. You watch. I think absolutely be a pay-per-view.
You get 1 month free if you subscribe to a 12-year deal.
A what?
You get that 1 month free if you subscribe to a 10-month...
12-month deal, yeah.
Yeah, 12-month thing, yeah.
So you said 12 years. I'm like, what are they, the Scientologists?
Yeah, no, sorry, all right.
12 years. Half of us on here won't even be alive in 10 years.
It's for life.
You got to sign.
Either you're in or you're out, man.
If you sign to watch every fight of Canelo's until he retires.
You have to sign with blood. All right, so... But anyways, wait, hold on. Let me introduce Apology because he's been waiting there for a while.
He could have done it.
Oops.
Don't get fooled when they...
Oops.
The king is here.
Oops.
Reverse me.
Oops.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
She just wanted the drama and you two to fight over her. That's what women do.
Your punishment must be more severe.
I lost respect all of you.
Bitches are stupid, I treat them like shit. That's how you get one to eat a dick. Never be sweet to a bitch.
Hi, welcome to the show. Apology.
Hello, what's going on?
What's up, Apology?
Alright, so we're talking about the zone. And okay, so you get 1 month free if you subscribe to a 12-month deal. That's what I understand. I paid for the whole year because I'm not going to be paying for a single month every time. I think you pay more for... Here in Canada, I think it's $20 or $22 per month plus taxes. So I just said, fuck it, I'm going to pay $150.
Future, what else is on the zone? Because I didn't catch your video. What else is on there?
Well, that's the zone Canada. But you get everything. You get NFL, you get soccer or football.
That's crazy. You guys get the NFL package. That's nuts.
Yeah. Crazy.
Oh, shit. You serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I might have
you have the NFL Network and all the NFL games. Like
so it's not the NHL package, the NHL Network?
Nah, they're never going to get the right for the NHL. Or maybe. Who knows? But the NHL...
This is the first time you guys had it better than us.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a better Netflix.
For sure. Cherish it.
I don't watch that.
We have a better president than you guys do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, man. Hey, there's elections next year. So we'll see.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
Yeah, he's good boy.
Trump is a good boy.
Pretty boy, fleecy. I don't know if you live in Canada.
The show yet?
I heard in Chicago they're gonna have recognize, where do you live?
Brooklyn. No.
Yeah, but I heard in Chicago they're gonna start like taxing the PlayStation store 12%.
It's amusement tax or something like that.
The fuck is that? Amusement tax.
You have to pay taxes to have fun now.
Yeah.
Man, they're taxing everything.
They get money from somewhere because they're broke. So
it's a Democrat-run city. That's why
they're broke. They need money from somewhere.
You know, in medieval times, they used to tax air. So that's why houses had little windows. So you could tell the guy, hey, listen, I have small windows, so I have to pay less taxes on the air that I'm breathing. I'm not even joking.
And those were lucky ones. The other ones were serfs. They just were basically slaves to the land.
They are really charging people for air now.
Well, they will soon. Trust me.
I heard in Germany there'll be a bachelor tax soon.
In the UK, you know, house tax and council. In the UK, if you say build a house and put, instead of a front door on it, put a garage door on it, you don't have to pay tax. So if your house is, as long as your house has got a fucking door on it, you have to pay tax. But if you doesn't have a door, like if you put a garage door or something like that, you don't. So that could be a cheap way of living, but it's just having to lift your garage door up to get in your house. So I mean, it's not convenient, but it will save you a few quid. But yeah, I mean, when you look at these liberal hellholes, the tax rates. I mean, all they're doing is driving people away with money. And when you drive businesses and people away with money, then you're left with people with no money, and then slowly becomes a shithole.
Stu, somebody has to pay for single moms to use EBT points.
Yeah.
Well, you got California, man. I mean, the middle class has fled. It's the only state that's losing population.
Do they get transgender pills on Obamacare over there?
I think it's free. Isn't it free in Canada, Bucho?
Yeah, they want. I think they want that.
That's about right, isn't it? If you've got cancer, you have to pay for it. But if you want to grow a set of titties, and it's free. Do you know what I mean?
No, in Canada it's all free though.
California.
I think you need to get a medical examination, and then if the doctor says, yeah, you are a transgender person or something, I think then the government covers some of that.
Man.
Hey, Stu,
I think
so.
Sorry, they're talking about 168% processed meat tax. I think that's in Germany and maybe US. They're just talking about it right now.
I know a girl got a fucking nose job done on the NHS, and she got it done because she said it was making her miserable looking at a bent nose. So they want to spend $4 or $5 grand on a new nose for her because it was
bent nose.
Jesus,
damn Jews.
That's for you.
Multiple
Yeah,
multicultural.
She went from Barry Manilow to fucking Michelle Pfeiffer out of Scarface in a matter of about a week. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe I'll get that penis reduction operation that I need because I can't.
Just say every time you get excited, you pass out. They're gonna have to take it.
Dude, you could probably get $100,000 for your foreskin if you find the right people.
I know.
I'm sure there's Chinese. They'll eat that. You'll find a Chinese person. They fucking eat everything else.
Oh man!
They make facial creams for rich bitches out of like baby foreskin.
They eat babies.
No,
they do.
They eat babies,
dude. Stem cell research, bro. They got.
Yep. Everybody dropped.
Respect the cock.
The fight scout says Obamacare paid for Sammy Sosa's bleaching.
And that's how you know what I said was true, man, because we all got kicked off.
Yeah.
They're listening.
So we got kicked off.
I'm not gonna make no innuendo jokes about a certain tribe. Anyway, so
my beloved character, Ching Chong Ding Dong.
But you guys want to know why all these taxes? I think, I don't know if I'm correct on this, but they gotta institute all these taxes because they're pumping all this money into the economy, and they gotta find a way to take it out of the economy. Otherwise, it's just gonna fucking implode. So I think that's why they're pushing for all these taxes, just to deflate the economy.
Do you think it's the opposite way, Precise? Do you think there's no money in the economy? That's why they're trying to tax everything?
No, because I'm talking about quantitative easing, how they're just printing money and, putting money in all these bank accounts, bailing out all these big companies.
I mean, here's the thing. They can do that, but I'm going to pull a Floyd Mayweather Pacquiao, and I'm just going to duck the taxes.
Well,
that money's not backed by anything.
Too. Like, either way, you're fucked, because if people stop paying their taxes, the economy collapses. Because there's just going to be too much money, and the money's not going to be worth anything.
That's when you move.
How can any working class person in America that cares about having a job and a family and keeping their family safe, want a vote against Trump's economy? They'd rather vote for an ideology of being butthurt than actually voting for some guy that's giving them more money in their account every week. The country's thriving. People are getting out off the streets. People, jobs. I can't believe why people
tax cuts are a portion of the patriarchy that hold people in the lower class down, and it's just systematic discrimination.
And also, they don't care about that stuff, Stu. They just care about Trump's and evil nasty. Yeah. They base their stuff on emotion and not actual.
Have you heard about the creepy porn lawyer? Have you heard about
Avenatti? Yeah, he's a joke.
Yeah, he smacked it.
That little fucking soy boy. He went after Trump, right? Called him everything, called Trump everything, and now it's come out that he's a woman beater himself, and that's usually the case with them Democrats. They all sit there and claim for women's rights and everything, but they're the ones that are raping these women, gangbanging them in these parties, and fucking beating them up when they go home pissed. Do you know what I mean? They're the ones that sit there and pretend that they're all for women's rights, yet hit Trump that's never laid a hand on a woman in his life.
No, they call him
listen by the pussy, Stu.
No, he said that's what happens in that industry. He said what he said. He was talking about it in context. What he said was, in that industry, you got guys grabbing girls' pussy like it's nothing. That's what it was like.
I know.
I know you know that, dude. But I'm just saying,
there was nothing untrue with what he said there, right? Like there was nothing that he was.
Listen, they gotta call us Nazis. They gotta call us fucking misogynistic. They gotta say, listen, when you're in a camp, that every conversation you have, we can kick. Listen, you talk multiculturalism, you talk forced migration. Every historical scientific fact kicks your nuts in. It doesn't work. It has never worked in history. So they can't accept that. There's that fucking Harvard doctor just did a study proving that. He sat on his findings for a year. So listen, what they do is they call you Nazi, because if you call someone a subhuman name, you instantly, you're in a moral superiority over them. So no matter what they say, it doesn't make sense. Because if you look at, like you said, transgender, to every fact they try to argue, you can crush it with, facts. So they just come at you with these ridiculous labels. But they are all soy boy little fucking geeks.
Yeah, they're just emotional. Like, they can't.
When a faggot calls
that.
me, when a faggot calls, excuse me, oh, maybe I shouldn't say it like that. When a homo calls me a Nazi, I'd rather be the Nazi, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you know. The thing is, when I hear these lefties in America, these social justice warriors, especially these beta males. I mean, the way they speak, they've not got an alpha. They don't even stand up straight and proud. They've not got an alpha male bone in their body. They speak like. Let's be real. Most of them talk like homosexuals. Let's be real.
They speak like
like homosexuals. They don't.
I am a victim of masculinity.
There's not a male bone in their body. Man.
They're all weak, small heads, small like body.
I just don't understand where all these guys are coming from. When I was younger, boys were boys, man. We was all alpha males, man. Do you know what I mean? We didn't have any of these soppy little fucking pansies in our classes. It wouldn't happen. Get their ass whooped.
Well, these are all these kids.
Toxic. That's why. It's because
that's the problem. We need to bring back bullying.
It's the revenge. It's the revenge of the last kids picked in fucking soccer. It's just seriously the last kids picked in. I think it's the fucking meek shall inherit the earth. These guys are just impatient because they are some meek motherfuckers, and they need to be fucking touch screen activist tough guys.
Yeah, but
you think any of these clowns do it in your face?
I am a victim of masculinity.
When you see these lefties, though, you know where they get it from. Look at when you see how weak and pathetic and feeble their parents are, and especially the father. Usually, he's one of them geeks with glasses, a fucking Rick Moranis looking motherfucker.
Oh, wife, I'm so sorry for saying that to you. I'll never say it again. Please don't hurt me.
Yeah, they go and buy a new fucking PlayStation game to fucking make the peace or something.
Yeah, instead of telling your wife, listen, bitch, go to the kitchen and make me something before I smack you. I gotta be, oh, I'm so sorry I said that, sweetheart. That was so bad of me. I apologize.
Yeah. Now, can you put your dildo on so you can fuck me in the arse?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those type of guys.
and they pretend like that's what women are really looking for. The sensitive. No, she's looking for the guy. Listen, she may publicly say, yeah, I want that guy that is understanding of me. But in her fantasies, she wants that, that mean conservative guy that looks like he's going to grab her by the hair and smack her in the face and spit her in her mouth.
I mean,
go into the fucking kitchen and make me something before I
That's how fucked up women are, man. They prefer the guy that shuts the door in her face than the one that holds it open for her.
Well, it's a statistical fact.
It's very true. It's very true.
I just watched a video by Black Pigeon Speaks, I think his name, and he did a whole video on that, and it showed like they tested all these leftist girls who their boyfriends are those pencil fucking fist in the air feminist stormtrooper, and but they did I think over 1,000 of them, and like 80% picked guys. They had to do what they did was they showed visual pictures of guys who were jacked up. They showed bikers, they showed construction workers, and it tested their heart rate, their pulse, and all these different factors, and it showed without a doubt.
Shit, everybody dropped. Fuck.
I am a victim of masculinity. And I am a victim of masculinity. And
that fucking sound.
I am a victim of masculinity. And
I think I'm pissing people off, man. That's happened 3 times now. I think it's me, dude. I think I'm pissing off the YouTube gods.
We're pissing somebody off. All right, guys. Let's get back to some boxing for a bit.
No.
All right. Well, what else is there?
Can we get a boxing match between Jimmy and Hillary Clinton?
The Jimmy and L dude.
Hillary Clinton's gonna have an epilepsy before.
What's Aldo gonna do if Garcia gets smoked? Is he gonna like still make videos?
Well, he said that Mikey Garcia has a good chance of winning, if I'm not mistaken.
That's like saying Tommy Morrison had a good chance of surviving his AIDS.
Jeez. God. Anyways, I don't know. Listen, when the BBC said, and I know some people are gonna go like, "Oh, King Butch is talking about the BBC again," but hey, I don't give a shit. We're gonna have to talk about this. The BBC promised us free fights on free TV and all that crap. They're back on Showtime. All right, they have a Fox deal, but so far they're giving us garbage fights on mismatches on Fox, and they're giving us 3 pay-per-views. 3 pay-per-views
in a row, right after Christmas, which is historically a terrible time because people don't usually buy them. So yeah, no, they are, and they already released the schedule for the Fox for the first year. Did you see it? It's. I mean, there's one decent one. I'm kind of interested in the 140-pound fight, but other than that, it's just trash.
Yeah.
What's the 3 pay-per-views they're doing?
All right.
I know Wild and Furious one. What's the other?
Pacquiao, Broner, Spence, Garcia.
Oh, that's on pay-per-view. Okay.
Yeah. So that's $300 pretty much. Well, with $90 a pop usually, or they'd probably be cheaper, $75. But still, what? I mean, $225 for those 3 fights.
Did you just say that Spence versus Garcia is pay-per-view?
Yes, it is. It's already been announced.
You lying.
You didn't know that?
It's actually already announced on Fox pay-per-view. Fox is doing a pay-per-view.
So wait, I gotta pay money to watch Tom versus Jerry.
$80 plus
Jimmy
tax.
Jimmy, do you think Fox knows what the hell they got into?
How retarded that is?
Well, but this way.
Go ahead.
No, go. You go, bro.
I think what it is, it's like, I can't describe it. It's like when you, like, say you're playing a video game and then you lose. Then you're like, oh, one more try. And then you lose again. It's like, oh, one more try. This time I'll get it. It's like Fox saw what the PPC was and like, okay, this time Heyman will produce the goods.
The Knicks going to take it this year.
Yeah.
Well, it goes to show you he's obviously not in it for the long haul because it's going to be telling. There was actually I saw a tweet too. It was somebody tweeted what it's up against. I can't remember. It was some was it Frosty the Snowman or something? Charlo Brothers is up against that. From 30 years ago, one of those shows. So if it gets beat out by that, that's prime time. So it's on a Saturday night. We'll see what it does.
Yeah.
That's their first fight.
I don't think Errol Spence has taken this fight too serious, to be honest with you. I think he's looking past this fight already. And let's be real, most of us think he's going to win this fight. But someone's telling me Mikey might do all right, I don't know what it is. Before the fight was made, I'm like, he's going to get his ass whooped. But someone's telling me Mikey might do all right. I'm not saying he's going to win, but I think he could shock us with his performance because he seems to be quite confident. Mikey does. He wanted this fight from the start. He's seen something in Spence.
I think he wins the first few rounds. I think he just until he gets caught, and then he's going to get put out.
I think with Spence, I think when we saw him get quite when Kell Brook was putting it on him, I don't think he enjoys being walked back and put under pressure, and I think he started to panic a little bit, and it looked like he was losing ideas, really running out of ideas and feeling a bit sorry for himself, and he managed to get back into the fight and got a good stoppage win. There's no doubt in that, but there was times in that fight where Spence did fall to pieces at times, and I think maybe Garcia's looked at that and thought, I do think Mikey Garcia can hold a shot. He's never. I think I've seen him hurt once, and so I do think he can hold a shot. So I don't think he's going to get blown out of there. I think.
But because Brook's so much bigger, like Brook is actually a pretty good size welterweight too, right? So with Spence, right, he could power Spence. He had the frame and the strength. Remember when the first time they tied up, and it was fucking Brook who shoved Spence back. I was like, okay, so he's just as strong. Mickey Garcia at no time is going to be able to do that. I can't see him being able to, muscle him around at all. I mean, he's flabby at 140. Imagine what he's going to look at there's no way he's going to be fighting at 147. But it's crazy.
Does he have enough time to change his body? I'm talking about Mikey Garcia, to actually put on some real muscle, not just flab. Can he do that? The fight's in January, so...
Well, if he took HGH, he absolutely could. He could put on mass because, remember, steroids takes a muscle cell and blows it up. HGH splits it. It creates. Yeah, you keep what you gain. That's the best part about HGH for boxing. It's just your recovery and your speed and your quickness.
I want to know how much weight Errol Spence is going to have to lose as well, because when he was facing it to Crawford the other day, he looked big. Really
big. You know something, Stu? He's been looking like that for quite some time. When I went to the Sean Porter Danny Garcia fight, he was sitting not that far away, so I got a good view of him. He looked 180, 190.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd put him at 180, 185, absolutely.
In the chat, Violence News Network is saying that Victor Conti is working with Mikey Garcia now.
Yeah, he's going to need Victor Conti for this one because this motherfucker's way bigger than him, man.
But Mikey Garcia is going to be coming in looking like Lou Ferrigno then, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
look at Marquez in the 4th Pacquiao fight.
Oh, man. That guy had veins on top of veins.
Yeah, he did.
All right, so Stu's saying that he has a feeling that Mikey Garcia might do better than what people are saying.
Yeah.
So let's say Mikey Garcia goes 12 rounds. What does that tell you about Spence Jr.?
It tells me that Spence is not nowhere near the level his fan bitches,
Bomb
his fan
Squad.
Boys,
Bomb Squad.
Or that could tell us that Mikey's a really good boxer.
Yeah, but how good is Mikey?
You know what I mean?
Let's be honest. I mean, he hasn't. We've watched enough Mikey Garcia fights. What does he do that's like unbelievable, amazing?
Nothing. He's an average fighter. He just goes 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2.
Yeah, jab.
There's nothing special about the guy.
This is a moneymaker for Heyman. That's all. He has to get pay-per-views because he still owes the LLC, right? He still owes Waddell and Reed, and they get cuts on pay-per-views. So I think he forced him because if I was handling him, I'd be like, no matter what, you don't look good. You knock this kid out, everybody's going to say, of course you knocked him out. You're twice his size. You lose to him and you're done. You're fucking the veneer of this, top people. Some people put him as, overall in the top 3, and that's gone.
Who put Spence at top 3?
Well,
Some people do.
I know.
Jimmy, do you know how much Heyman owes the IRF or whatever you call it?
Waddell and Reed, he still owes them hundreds of millions.
All right. But hold on. How much will this pay-per-view make in your estimation?
I don't think it cracks 90.
Like $40,000.
Nah.
I think
No.
100.
Nah, I think with the Mexicans, I think you could 200,000.
That's the thing. I don't know if the Mexicans...
Yeah.
Is Mikey a big Mexican though? Like,
I was just going to say that. I don't know how big he is. I see him often on that ESPN show. That ESPN boxing show with Chavez Jr. Sorry, Chavez Sr. He's usually there. So he's trying to get some exposure, I guess. But I don't know. And the fact that it's a mismatch, maybe people are going to skip that fight. And it's in January. People are going to be spending in Christmas. I don't know.
This is my problem with the White Chisora. Not sure around Christmas. I'm not sure I'm going to buy that fight. I've got kids to buy. I've got family to pay.
Yeah.
Listen, just
Christmas dinner. I've got a lot of things to pay out, and I just don't see the point. Chisora White is not a pay-per-view fight for me.
Wait a couple hours and watch it on Daily Motion.
I'm not going to.
That's ridiculous.
I'm not going to have Eddie Hearn ripping me off all the time. Say we like about Eddie Hearn. Yeah, he's a good fighter. But Eddie Hearn can't really put on decent cards without a pay-per-view event. Every half-decent fight that he puts on, it's always pay-per-view. And this is another one. oh, he's getting his fighters paid, but I'm not going to be part of it where I'm just dipping into my pocket and giving that guy $25 a time to watch a fight. It shouldn't be on pay-per-view.
That's because you guys keep buying the pay-per-views.
Daily Motion.
Listen, I bought Bellew Usyk because that was a fight I was really interested in, but I am starting to calm down on my pay-per-views. I'm buying Wilder.
Reverse, you're right. Daily Motion's where is that?
I'm buying Wilder Fury next week. I'm going to buy that one, and then I'm not going to buy any more till in the next year.
Yeah, that's like most people. You know, it's holidays. You're just like everybody else. You know, I got family and other commitments. It's just a strange time to bang out 3 back-to-back pay-per-views.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I mean, I'm curious how all of them do. I personally don't think Spence Garcia. I could be wrong. Maybe but I don't think it even hits 100,000 sales. I don't think it does 90.
Jimmy, 3 pay-per-views in a row.
UK's got 3 pay-per-views in December. 3 pay-per-views, 2 on the same night. Because Frampton, I think Warrington's a pay-per-view on the same night as Chisora.
Is he sharing cocaine with Tyson Fury?
Who?
Eddie Hearn. Who does he think is going to buy his 3? His 3 pay-per-views.
Crazy. Well, people are buying. Hey, Jimmy.
Well, 2 of it.
Yes.
2 of it.
Do you think that 3 pay-per-views in a row, almost in a row, is a sign of desperation?
Well, it's a sign that he still, no matter what, he can only get so many dates, right? He's got so many. He gets from Showtime. He has so many. He has through Fox and I know FS1, but he's got all those fighters and he's got to get it exposed. So the reason why he was able to do, because all the other good, Cinco de Mayo, all the, premier pay-per-view days are all gone. There's certain times a year box promoters always go for. So the reason why he was able to do that, yes, and plus they seal the records. Nothing's out yet. I haven't been able to find anything. But Heyman was in court this past summer in Kansas City. Well, whether he was there or his lawyers were there. But and he didn't change his LLC. It's still the same LLC, which is his tax ID, corporation, Media Look or Media Group, and Heyman Media Group LLC, that it was when he signed the Waddell Reed that he did with these fights now. So if it's still under the same LLC, I'm sure he's still paying Waddell Reed. Because there's no way he could just owe all that money and say, yeah, no, that didn't work out. I'm just going to go make millions over here now. So I'm just curious what they said in court.
All right. Because to be fair, I mean, we've been saying that, that PBC is going to die soon. But now they got the Fox deal. And PBC fanboys are going like, well, you keep saying, you people have been saying that the PBC is going to die. But now it's still alive. But I just read the comment in the comment section. And it says that the UFC got even more money than what the PBC got from Fox. And at that time, the UFC was still young. So it's not like they got a lot of money.
But to your point, though, Bucho, PBC did die. That whole premise, the whole, this whole thing was just to get boxing off of premium cable and back on free TV. The fact that all the money was gone, none of his plans fell through. I mean, they all fell through. Not one show or not one network purchased anything. And at the end of the day, remember at the end of 2016, or 2017 rather, he couldn't put anything together. It was like 3 months. There was no schedule. Nobody knew what was going on because he was out of fight dates. He had no money and he had to sign those deals. It's just an extension with Showtime. So it went from free off, that was his whole thing, to now they're the most expensive. If you count the Showtime prescription, in the pay-per-views, easily the most expensive. So from free to most expensive, I wouldn't count that a win.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody said PBC fails due to LDBC streaming.
Yeah,
could be.
That's how it makes sense. They stream fights.
Chris Gonzalez says that 3 pay-per-views means investors want their money.
I mean, according to Lopez, I thought Showtime was going to be the place to be. I thought they were going to bring free boxing back to the boxing public. I mean, that really went down the drain quick, didn't it?
Well, how's that, Stu? How is that ever free TV? Like, Showtime is a
subscription package.
Yeah, it's one of the. It's not really free if you're not paying for that subscription.
And In the US, Showtime is premium cable, right?
Absolutely.
It's a premium channel.
It's a choice, yeah. It
Okay.
basically is if you want Showtime part of a package deal, you got to pay for that. Yeah.
It's about $15-16, I think it costs me.
Okay, it's like same as Canada. So for HBO, I gotta pay $16 extra on top of the basic cable and then the other cable package, and then $16 on top of everything else just for HBO.
Now, is there a carbon tax on that too?
Yeah.
Hey Jimmy, you want to know what my cable? I'll tell you what my cable bill is, right?
Oh yeah.
I got just about every movie channel, right? Every movie channel. I got cable in every room where I live at. So the total deal is $215 every month. So tell me how much. Tell me how. Tell me how it's free TV.
No, but I'm saying because I pay more than that, and I don't have half that shit.
What?
Yeah, no, I pay like $240 a month, but I got my internet with that too.
You guys are crazy, man.
But damn, wait, like, so you pay for less? I guess you're paying for less.
Yeah, I don't have I don't have NFL package, and this is coming from someone who grew up with black boxes. You know what I mean? I never paid for cable in my life.
Oh yeah.
But what do you have? Verizon?
No, Comcast.
Oh, Comcast. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I am on Verizon, but I got DirecTV for cable.
All mine. I pay about £150 a month for mine,
which is about $200, right? American comes out to.
Yeah, it's about a little over $200. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys are nuts. It's like $88 here, and you get.
And I don't even. That's like, you know, I tell you guys all the time. I'm at work, so that's not really for me. That's for the the kids. So
yeah, but I've got internet. I'll get the internet with it. I've got all the channels. I've got BT Sports with that as well. Box Nation, Sky Sports. So it's quite expensive.
And on top of that, you pay the pay-per-views.
When Scout says, "Oh, but it's only $25," which is all right. That's not much. But when you're paying $150 a month, and then you're putting on top pay-per-views, when you're talking 2 a month, 2, 3 a month, sometimes it all adds up, man. I'm getting sick of it. You know,
Pop-Tart Gun said that PBC fans have to choose between Baby Mama Alimony and PBC pay-per-view.
and guys, these LDBC fans, most of them are LDBC fans, they're talking negatively about the zone, which is $10 in the US. Instead of, don't buy a beer, don't buy a pack of cigarettes, and you get $10 for a month and you get some boxing.
They're a reflection of the media. Everything.
Don't donate to Twitch Thoughts.
I love how I'm not just saying the LDBC, but people who think like that, they think that they're going against the system, but they don't realize they actually promote what the system talk about in terms of attitude and like they think they're against it. It's like, no, fool, you're for the system, you stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
they're following.
You just want to smack the shit out of them, like in person.
Well, that's what Antifa is. Antifa is just fucking crash test dummies for corporate.
Oh, exactly. I mean, that's like I meant something like that. Exactly, Jimmy. Like these people actually think they're against the system. They're being supported by the system. You fucking idiot. Anybody who believes in communist point of views, the system is for you. You fucking idiot. Like I want to.
Yeah, it's the illusion of freedom.
The left used to be anti-establishment. It used to be anti-God. You know what I mean? Now it's pro-fucking corporation,
they're communist.
Pro-big business. Exactly. It's all crash test dummies being indoctrinated by Marxist professors.
There's this guy in London. He claims to be anti everything to do with government, right? He says, I'm not going to have my kids go to school and be taught by these teachers. You've got to keep away from society, live your own life. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, this guy, is he a clown or something? He's renting a place off the council, and he's actually on job seekers allowance, which is welfare.
Yeah, he depends on the system.
He's talking about system having nothing to do with the system, yet the system are buying his food every week for him. I mean, it's fucking unbelievable.
Hey, Stu, can I ask you what's your real quick? I know it's not boxing, but I think it was kind of shitty. My personal fan, I don't like that Nigel Farage, who I normally like. I don't like that he cut the balls off and went after Tommy. I think people need to stand by Tommy. That's just my opinion.
I'm seeing something with Farage. I think he's getting to the end of his career. I think he's been paid off by the establishment, and he's starting to swing to the left, shall we say?
Farage, for real? Wow.
Yeah, well, it was crazy. I was shocked that he would say that about Tommy.
He's still because he loves Trump, and he's one of Trump's boys. So I think he's more bothered about Donald Trump than he is the UK now. And like I said, all the big problems that we've got in the UK, not Tommy Robinson, Nigel Farage never really addressed. All he talked about was Europe. He never talked about all the other problems that we've got. Always swerve the questions. And for me,
hey, when you do that, you got to put this.
Typical establishment politician, where when you talk about touchy subjects that need addressing, that they swerve them, and Farage has been doing a lot.
Guys, safety first.
Well, one of my
independent.
One of my brother's best boys is from England. He's from Birmingham, and he's tough as nails. He's been here about 15 years. He can't even talk about going home to Birmingham without tears flowing in his eyes. Yeah, last time I saw him was at Easter. He was fucking pissed. Bullshit. He was.
Shit. It's an absolute shit. It really is.
Tears in his eyes. And to the point, though, he's like, you don't understand, Jimmy. If I go back there and see my people, he goes, I'll go to prison, because he's at a point, though, it's going to happen like what you said, because it gets to the point, if you can't protect your children, you got to take this shit into your own hands. If you can't turn to the police.
I guarantee it's going to kick off in this country eventually. It's just simmering up now. And like I said, it is what it is. I don't want it to happen, but what can you do? These politicians are so fucking far-fetched from reality, so stuck in their Marxist ways, that they're actually going to cause a civil war in Europe and maybe America too one day. And this is how dangerous these people are. You know, these liberals are more dangerous than Islam will ever be. And of course, Islam's dangerous with the terrorism, but these liberals are far more dangerous, and especially these white guilt liberals. These are a danger to society, and unfortunately, the UK is affected with them, like the big cities in America and on the coasts, like New York and LA and them places. London's no different, just fucking liberal cesspits. And until we get these politicians out, mate, nothing's going to change.
Well, to your point, my niece, dude, my niece came home and my brother called me. He's like, dude, the teacher said we're not going to celebrate Thanksgiving because it's a holiday. It's actually, it's a holiday of oppression. Could you believe? My brother was so pissed. He actually just signed her up for Catholic school. Yesterday, he's getting her out of there. He was so pissed that a public school did that. They wouldn't let him hang up any. And she was saying, she talked about how much of an oppression the holiday was, and it should be stopped. So that's what they do. They target your history. They make you ashamed of your history. They tear down your monuments. They make and then you hunker in. Everybody kind of folds in on themselves and just, and that's what they want. They want just, you depend on the government. Leftist, sick fucks. I agree with you 100%.
There's no dialogue. It's just like dogmas. Shut this down, tear this statue down. There's no dialogue, so there's no understanding. Like I said, ideas become stronger when they're challenged, and if you survive that challenge, then they become even stronger. But if you just have an idea and you say, you know what, this idea is not going to be challenged, just because it cannot be challenged, then it becomes a fucking dogma.
Sounds like debating low place.
Yeah, exactly. Everything he says is fucking the word of God.
Peace Thomas says, Matrix, cancel that Spice Girl Network super package.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what it is. Tell him he's right.
What you have to do, if you've got any sort of class about you care about your country, your kids, get out of the cities, sell up, go somewhere nice in the suburbs.
Oh, Stu, I've been knowing this for a long, long time, man.
Get out of the cities, because I tell you what, they're going to get worse and worse and worse. And before
New York,
you know,
let me tell you something. Just for example, Stu, I don't mean to cut in, but New York, if anybody's ever been to New York, they'll know that I'm right about this, especially recently. It looks like a city full of zombies. That's what it looks like. I mean, you can't debate. These people are so high strung that just you saying, yeah, I like Trump, man. There's no problem with him. How dare you?
How could you possibly?
They start hyperventilating. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you, you stupid bitch? Like, what? Why are you so bent out of shape? I just happen to like him. Like, okay.
More people should use that word.
I'm not saying like I'm a huge Trump fan. I think there's certain things that are good about him, and I think there's certain things that are predictable about him. Right?
If you send your children to universities, you deserve to have a retard in the house.
Absolutely, right? Like you at this point,
selling their brains. You are selling.
Don't send your kids to like in the city to go to school. Don't make sure that it's in the outskirts of the city, because you'll have a better chance. There's a better shot that your kids are not going to be learning about, oh, daddy, transgenderism is a real sex.
Yeah. I mean, rich conservatives have to get together and build their own schools.
Well, you have Boston College. It's the most expensive school in the States, $54,000 a year to go there, but it's a Jesuit school. So they have very conservative views. They have no social science, fucking Marxist, doing gender studies.
Let's bring back the days where if you're smart enough to go to university, then get a job at McDonald's. Tough shit. Do you know what I mean? It's
that's discrimination. You should be able to get stuff just because of the way you look or the way you come out of your mom's body. You implying that I actually have to earn things in my life is ridiculous.
That's true. That is true.
Hey, wasn't that the whole thing with boxing? It has to be boxing needs to be free, because I don't know for what reason. That was the whole BBC thing, and their fans were going, "I want it free."
Free, Bucho, when they would put it on ABC or NBC, and you didn't have to pay for cable to watch fucking TV. Now you gotta pay for cable just to get a visual. You need
they used to do closed circuit.
We have to pay. We have to pay £25. What is that noise? We have to pay £25 a month for the BBC. We have no choice. If we do not pay it, we go to prison.
You don't. What?
We go to prison.
What?
We go to prison.
Stuart, repeat that again.
Yeah.
We have to pay. Did you know that? We have to pay. It's law. We have to pay £25 a month for BBC, right? Which is a left-wing propaganda Marxist paedophile. And we have to pay them, £25 a month. And if we don't, they come after us with the bailiffs.
Well, you got the pleasure of having that woman.
Let that sink in for a moment.
I see John Gonzalez having a laugh.
Who's that woman who interviewed? Who's the woman who interviewed?
Can you imagine being forced to pay for CNN?
I mean, I would just rather go to jail. At that point, I'll be like, yeah, take me to jail.
Well, we pay for CBC, which is pro Trudeau. So it's
the same thing.
That's the Canadian brother.
BBC.
Yeah, it's like the BBC but Canadian.
State run. Now that chick who interviewed Dr. Peterson, that blonde chick, what's her name, Stu?
Who?
The chick who interviewed Dr. Peterson. So what you're trying to say is
about that dumb feminist mutt.
Yeah, what's her name? Oh my God, I want to kick her in the cunt. Ooh,
that little cunt.
Is it Kate Burley?
Oh my God. So
yeah, but we know who she is.
What you're trying to say is, it's like,
I bet, and she's married. She's married. I bet her husband must be like some weakling, man. Seriously.
Oh, you can imagine her husband, innit? Fuck me.
You guys remember the conversation?
I bet he reads a book in bed at night with his lamp on.
You guys remember the conversation you had about having sex with your wife and then she leaving the room or staying? I bet he leaves the room when his wife gets a man in his house.
I bet she's got a little safe space when she does a little bit of mess. She's got a little safe space.
The wife is like, I was thinking about spicing things up, so I'm gonna bring this other guy in.
Yeah.
And she's gonna sit there and watch.
Yes, honey, you can do whatever you want.
Yes, honey, you can do whatever you want. That's being promoted as you're a real fucking man. Like, yeah.
I know, by Steve Harvey.
You can imagine it. I bet when she gets in bed, excuse me, love. I was wondering if we could make love tonight.
I am a victim of masculinity. And
get out of it. You don't ask. If you're a real man, you don't need to ask.
Of course not. But wait a second. Feminists today would like you to believe. That's rape. That's rape. That's actually rape. When you know how to touch your girl and not ask her and slip it in. You know.
Just a tip.
Yeah, just a tip.
Oh man.
I'm a rapist.
And they convince
foreskin.
And they convince these girls. You know what it is? You know what's funny? Damn, that sound is horrible. I don't know. There's a bad.
Jimmy, it's on your side. There's like a crackling sound. It's coming from Jimmy's side. I don't know, Jimmy.
Okay, sorry, Jimmy.
I was on mute right there, right?
No, yeah, but there's like when you speak, when you're unmuted, there's like a crackling sound. I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay, brother, help me mute that shit.
Yeah, like they'll convince these women if they're stupid enough, you know, that did you have sex with that guy? Did you enjoy it? Yes. Did he ask you? No.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't ask you. Oh, that's great. Even though you enjoyed it.
Oh,
and these bitches
rapists.
Now think about what these idiots say on campus right now. This is a well-held belief that 1 in 4 girls get raped on today's college campuses. What fucking parent, knowing that you have a 1 in 4 chance your baby daughter is going to get fucking raped, would you send them? It's just the fact that people believe that bullshit is just amazing to me.
They think that we live in South Africa where the rape is like fucking. That's probably more like it over there. Right. They think that we're living like that over here. It's like, get the fuck out of here. There's never been 1 out of 4 girls getting raped ever in America.
They class touching a girl's arm as sexual assault these days, man. Do you know what I mean?
You see there's this video where this like little boy, he was in the store and he walks past this white girl with no butt, and he accidentally rubs his backpack against her backside, and she calls the police on the little 9-year-old.
Jesus.
Because she felt she was sexually harassed.
That was in Staten Island.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, or was it Brooklyn? I forgot where it was. And anyway, it's funny because there's a little backstory to that. She's from a certain political tribe, and that political tribe rained down on her like, "Don't you ever, motherfucker! Those are our peoples. What are you doing? We need their votes. Don't ever do that shit again."
Hey, like what Jimmy was saying.
Next time you say it's a 9-year-old white boy, that's what you say.
Hey, like Jimmy was saying,
there was a camera.
Imagine you have a daughter, and then you're gonna send her to college where there's like a 1 out of 4 chances that she's gonna get raped. Like Jimmy said that.
Jimmy's muted BDA, man. Jimmy.
No,
who muted?
Jimmy's muted.
What?
He's muted BDA. Jimmy,
I didn't. I pushed the wrong button. Did I? It's okay. Is he unmuted now?
Oh, yeah. No, I unmuted.
Oh,
I didn't know you guys can mute me. What the fuck is that?
Sorry about that. Yeah, no, that's the going thing right now. It's that's the standard belief. It's 1 in 4 girls get raped.
Imagine if I told you that when you come on this podcast, you have a 1 in 4 chance of somebody tracking down your signal and coming to your house and stabbing you in your throat 82 times. Would you come on here?
It's just ridiculous.
Never. I would say, thank you, Bucho, for the invite, but no thanks.
But see, that's the reason why they call you Nazi in the names, because everything they say is just so ridiculous. Like Dr. Peterson, the guy's become a rock star from just stating the obvious. Just these things that are just factual truths.
I watched this thing with this guy, right? I watched this guy, and he talks about women and feminism and all that. And he was saying that men are just not marrying women anymore. And women are there's these women groups that they're wondering why men don't want them no more. And this guy basically said, it's a fact. He said, look how women act today. He goes, they're so needy, spoiled. They have big mouths. They're very rude, a lot of them. This is not all women. So before someone in the chat goes, man, but in general, and a lot of them have got mental health issues. I mean, I've dated a lot of girls at the time. Like I said, got children with them and all sorts. And I can assure you, 95% of the women that I've been with have got some sort of mental fucking health issue where they're just nuts. And
yeah, I can attest to that.
For men to give up everything they've worked for hard for some bit of ass that could go fucking pear-shaped after 6 months. I mean, it's a lot for a man to take on, and this is why men are just using these girls for one-night stands and getting on their way, and that's the way I do it. It's the best way to do it. You get what you need off them and get the fuck out there before they can take anything else. All right, there's going to be that one woman out there that you find that you're going to want to be with and live happily ever after, but most of them, and this is 99% of them, are going to be a thorn in your side, and that's just going for experience, boys. So anyone that's thinking about, you know, living happily ever after, I know apologies fucked off MGTOW out the window now. He's gone to university and he's seen all them beautiful Beckys and he's changed his mind. So he's looking for the love of his life now. But
no, he's looking for the fuck of his life right now.
Yeah. You know what a Becky is, Stu?
Hold back a little bit, but, you know, because like I said, this is why men are not marrying these women anymore.
A Becky is like some fat white chick who doesn't wash her hands when she goes to the bathroom.
Ew, Jesus Christ, man.
Reverse just, I'm sure he just makes things up as he goes along.
No, it's common knowledge.
What? I've never had that before, man.
No, it's an American thing.
I bet he's just a white.
It is. No, actually, Stu, not to jump in, but it is an American thing. This is there in the UK and England. It may be a little different, but in America, yeah, Becky is known for like the fat white chick that definitely her own race don't want, and she's accepted by every other.
Sorry, apology, I didn't mean it.
Well, remember Chris Rock used to have a stand up about that. Remember?
Sorry, apology. It weren't Ben. It weren't Ben.
Don't worry about it, man.
I'm
sure it means something different in here, man.
I just thought it meant white chicks. That's all.
Yeah, I thought that as well. Don't worry about it.
Well, now you've learned something new.
All right.
I like the name Slappers. That's an awesome name for bitches.
Yeah, next time I go to America and see some fat white chick, I'll go, "What's up, Becky?"
No,
Guess what? You have a 1 in 4 chance of being right.
Hey, reverse. What did they call white girls with a big ass again? What is it? Is it P something A?
I know what you're talking about. It's
you know what I'm saying, right? It's a
PAWG.
Say that again.
PAWG.
What does that mean? PA. Say again.
PAWG.
Yeah.
Oh, I already know what it stands for. Fat ass white girl, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
Hey,
That's what they call it.
You want to hear a funny story about marrying a fucking, it's actually Mickey Ward's brother, Dickie Eklund. This is years ago, back in the late 80s, early 90s, was getting married. And I remember, so I'm like, hey, no shit, you're getting married, huh, guy? She's the one, huh? And he turned to me so casual, he turned to me what he said, he goes, she didn't press charges, so. If you know Dickie, I'm like, oh, yeah, she's a keeper. Well, kid, she didn't press charges, so.
Press charges for what?
Well, if you live with, if you knew Dickie then, he was off the fucking hook. That was like in the movie when he was robbing people and doing crazy shit. So I'm sure, it was just funny the way he said it because I said, oh, so she's the one trying to be like normal. And he's like, oh, yeah, she didn't press charges.
He's the type of person that'll sit in front of you. Then he'll put on a ski mask and rob you.
Well, he actually would go under the bed when his girl was servicing someone on the bed, and he would go through the fucking wallet. No, he wouldn't bother doing that. He would just that's what he was doing. Remember, even in the movie, but he would wait in the closet. He wouldn't go under the bed.
That happened to me.
Or sometimes he would just they had fake badges, and what they would do, their big scam was they stole a old car that looked like a Cruiser, same fucking Merc, Crown Vic, and they had one of those blue lights, and they put it on the dashboard. So they'd wait for the girl to start giving a guy a smoker, some married man, and they would pop out with the floodlight, flashlight in your eyes. Oh, your wife! Oh, look at that wedding ring, and they would get the guy fucking panting. Slip me a couple of hundred, and you can go home. So yeah, that was his thing, and that's actually even in the movie what he got caught for. Remember, he was doing that, impersonating an officer.
Jesus, how much did you get for that?
What's that?
For impersonating a police officer.
Oh, well, it depends on if it's in commission of, it's a misdemeanor. Like, if you get caught with a blue light, it's a misdemeanor charge. But it depends if you use it in commission of a felony, impersonating an officer in a commission of a felony. Yeah, you can actually, in Massachusetts, I think you can even get the death penalty if, you commit a homicide. Yeah, if you commit a homicide.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Impersonating a police officer, you pull someone and shoot him.
Funny enough, though, we've got where I live. There's a guy that drives around in a NYPD police car. I don't know how he got it over it, but it's a proper American NYPD.
He's he got this in England.
He's driving around in it. It's got the siren on it and everything.
He's a boss. He's a boss.
I thought it's one of them.
That's like me.
Have you seen? Can you remember Hill Street Blues? Can you remember that? It's one of them. That era. It's one of the fucking Hill Street Blues cop cars. And he drives around and it's got the siren on it and everything. The NYPD badges. And he just gets away.
It's
Obviously,
like me running around New York with a fucking the London PD police car running around.
You probably could do it, but I suppose if you do it in the UK, you'd get done. And if I did it in America, I'd get done. But I suppose you could drive a UK police car in the States. I don't see why not. It's not intimidating a police officer in the US, is it?
Probably.
Yeah, I would think I probably could get away with that. Maybe.
Interpreting.
All right, people in the chat. I asked them if they wanted to talk about boxing, and then people started saying, "Oh, let's talk about Canelo, Rocky Fielding," and then somebody else said Pacquiao Broner, and then somebody else said Bivol Pascal. To be honest, that's not really.
Hey, Broner,
NYPD police cars, please.
Yeah, exactly. Just really quickly, I was gonna say I saw Broner was in New York. I saw Broner,
and
I know he was him. No, he was in New York.
Was he still fat?
How was his shape?
Fat.
Exactly.
He's kind of fat, yeah.
Did he try to make the moves when you recognize?
No, he ain't trying to make. I would have smacked.
Did he say that you were mad because he's spinning?
Yeah, he's like, you mad because I'm taking over your town right now. He was with some big fucking dude. It just happened to park my car somewhere in Manhattan, and there he was.
What?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit,
now,
little midget.
The fact that Broner's fat, is that because he just doesn't care anymore, and he knows that
he was always fat. Like, go look at his past fights. During off season when he wasn't training or when he didn't have a fight scheduled, he used to eat
DNA
a lot.
Yeah,
he gains a lot of weight. He gains a lot of weight.
And he's getting older.
Look at
he's getting older as well. So
his big fat father.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his father's
fucking joke.
Reverse is right. I mean, if
the dude looks like a closed hippo.
He looks like that guy from the movie Spawn. Remember the clown? I don't know if you guys remember that movie.
It's like Keith Thurman's father. You ever seen Keith Thurman's father? Like, obviously...
He has a father?
Yeah, he does. His father's a much bigger man than he is.
Well, no shit. He's like 400 pounds.
And isn't he about like 6 feet tall?
I can imagine Thurman's dad looking like fucking Quincy Jones or something like that.
I can imagine him looking like David Hay or Low Place.
Nah, not Quincy Jones.
No. His father's actually dark skinned.
Yeah, that's how it is. Keith Thurman, he has a dark-skinned father, and his mom is white.
Right, that's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming that's the case. Right, like if you look at him, he's got to be that the mother's white.
Hey, in the chat, Strike Grind Radio is asking, do you guys think that VADA is doing their job correctly? Well, in this case with the Charlos, I don't know.
It's their job to defend
Defend American
fighters based on their money? Because if that's the case, they're doing it decently.
Yeah.
Well, they're not supposed to give I think they're only supposed to give 24 hours. If I remember correctly, they give 24 hours to a fighter. They'll call, hey, I'll be by tomorrow. So I don't know what VADA did wrong. I mean, if they try to schedule a test, and the thing is, they wouldn't have just shown up there and, oh, he's not there. So they obviously try to get a hold of him. They must have, because it was a scheduled appointment he blew off. So there's no excuse.
Could it be that they're just doing cocaine? How long does cocaine stay in the system? It goes out pretty fast, no?
3 days?
The leaner you are, because drugs store the chemical that they test you and catch you on stores in your fat. That's why lean people, it goes out quicker. So 3 days, yes.
Yeah,
I think
depends on how much they do. Yeah, 3 days.
Cocaine's about 3 days.
Don't ask me how I know.
Cocaine's about 3 days. I think strong cannabis is about 3 months.
Yeah. It could stay in your system. 48 days, they say, right?
All right, so maybe they were just doing coke.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, we're talking about they're doing other things.
I thought that though. I thought that maybe they were ducking the drug tests because of the coke. Because that's why a lot of sportsmen do duck the test. I mean, Maradona, when he kept failing tests.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think it was more down to the cocaine of trying to get away with that than Maradona taking steroids. Because when you see the shape that Maradona was in, he was definitely not taking drugs to be in a shape. Let's be real. He looked horrible. He looked like Danny DeVito, for fuck's sake. So it's not like he was taking them to get in shape. I think it was down to hide the coke, and I think that's what could be the case with the Charlos and a lot of athletes.
Still mad about Argentina in 1986. So.
Damn right, it was in Mexico as well.
Yeah.
Fucking damn right, I'm still.
Relive that painful memory.
Danny DeVito looking motherfucker cheated us that night.
Let's not relive that painful memory.
Yeah, but anyways, so yeah, Strike Grind Radio is saying now. I think Victor Conti, who's with Monroe Jr., are definitely behind this. Conti hunting this year. Okay, so. Interesting. Conti's with Monroe Jr., right?
Yeah. That's what.
Never thought about that.
That's.
Well, wait a minute. What's Farah gonna do? They had to. They had some test that they had to do, and the Charles weren't there. Like, what the hell? Like, it's. How can VADA be doing something? I don't see that conspiracy here.
VADA is a joke. VADA's. It's a show, mate. It's a fucking show. They're there to make out that they're cleaning up the sport, but all they're doing is keeping an eye on certain fighters, looking after certain promoters' fighters, and making sure that they don't get popped, and everyone else does around them. That's a threat.
Stu, when I knew VADA was a joke? At first, I kind of liked them. I knew they were a joke when they actively tested. I want to say Joe Smith Jr. and Bernard Hopkins decided he wasn't going to take the test.
Yeah.
Like, okay, somebody would say, well, that's their job. Well, why would VADA say, look, we're going to test one guy but not test the other guy? Because he doesn't want to be tested.
I mean, I don't know when the last time Wilder was tested, but I'm actually quite positive when they were fucking testing Povetkin every 3 days. That guy didn't get one test. I mean, I hope Precise could probably help me out with that one, but I know for fact he hasn't been getting tested lately. Charlo's haven't. I mean, I know Spence has not had a test since time began. I mean,
now
you got to.
Sorry.
Go on, Precise. You got anything to say? Because you're muted.
Yeah, I think VADA, Margaret Goodman, she's trying to do the best she can. It's in her interest to catch people. But, when you got fighters travel all over the world, all over the U.S., there's not a lot of accountability. You're sending out these employees to go test them. To say that Charlo can slip, I'm saying, I'm the proof. But one of these guys couldn't just pay off one of the testers, and what's VADA going to do about that? You know what I mean? There's just so many degrees of separation between fighter and Margaret Goodman that there's plenty of room for corruption. And as far as Wilder, I actually think he's getting tested, which is why he's so pissed off about all these other guys getting popped, because he's given up all his pills, and apparently they're still using. So he thinks, and then he's been losing a lot of weight. So while talking about to gain weight, so to me, I think he's being tested. How well, I can't say.
Yes, but what my point is though, bro, if he's got these people on his side, it doesn't matter how many times he's tested. It's not going to be the result that.
Well, yeah, you're right. But this is the problem between the WBC and VADA. The WBC, they use VADA, but when it comes to doing out punishment, VADA has nothing to do with that. So let's say VADA tests them positive, they report it to everybody they're supposed to report, and the WBC could just say, we're going to fuck this one up. You know what I mean? How many like that.
How many of these fighters, Pete? How many of these fighters that you're talking about from the WBC or even PBC that have been busted for peds? Released by VADA.
I mean, who knows, right? Who knows? We'll never know.
And let me. Who's responsible for letting?
I want to recognize. Just 2 secs. Just 2 secs, and then you can come in, bro. My point is, the answers are none, 0, because even if these guys are testing positive, they're not gonna do fuck all about it. They're not gonna put this forward to anyone. It's all part of the scam. And that's my point. These guys are taking peds. We know they're taking peds, but they're not going to come up as being dirty. And so that, for me, makes VADA a fraud show. Go on, recognise.
No, you're right, Stu, and I agree with that. And besides, there are legal peds as well. So, but I was going to ask, recognize. I was going to ask myself. I was going to ask Precise. Does he? If I don't know if he knows who's responsible for leaking out who failed a test. Is it the WBC or VADA? To the public,
as I'm sure you can imagine, every contract is different, right? It really depends. They're going to sit down, they're going to negotiate all the details. It's like the co-hockey.
Besides, you're cutting out, bro. I really want to hear what you got to say. Can you try and get a bit closer?
Yeah, he's echoing. I'm only hearing every other word too.
I do want to hear what you got to say on this one.
Okay, well,
that's better.
Is this any better?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really depends on every contract, right? What kind of contract you sign. Mayweather, for example, was trying to get Pacquiao to sign a contract that if either one of us fails, we keep it hush, right? So you really, VADA, they're going to get their role depends on every single different contract. You know what I mean? So who's to say? We don't really know because we don't see these contracts.
Well, I think this particular time, instead of the BC, which I think from what I was told, I believe it is true. It's depending on the contract you have signed with each group has signed with them. But I guess they forwarded the information to the WBC, but it was the VADA report, because then they'll print out, they do a report, and it's got, soccer players, football, everybody. They print it out for everybody, and they have the Charlo, both brothers' name. And there was 5 boxers who didn't make, who missed out on it. The Charlos were the 2 big names. And there was a Ukrainian fighter.
I think
VADA
have to go back to their client, which will be the WBC. So if they pop someone, they'll go to the WBC, and then the WBC decide to keep it quiet because they've got VADA in the pocket. VADA are puppets for the WBC. So
yeah, but like them missing a date is not that big of a deal. It looks shady, but if the WBC make a little bit of noise about that stuff, it looks like they're doing something, and these guys gotta show up, right? Gotta pay. I'm assuming they're paying something for these tests. You know what I mean? This shit ain't free.
They're getting paid either way, aren't they? Of course they are. They're thousands of pounds. VADA testing's about $4 grand, about $3 or $4 grand at the least.
Right. They gotta pay for that shit. So they'll publicize, they're missing the test, because I think you'd have to do it like 2 or 3 times for it to become a strike. So they'll publicize that easily, right? That doesn't mean that it wouldn't necessarily protect them if they fail. This is the WBC, but again, it's all speculation.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't really have a lot of respect for VADA at the moment. Like I said, a lot of people are getting busted that that are fighting certain guys, and these guys are coming out looking like Greek gods, and not a test in sight for them. So you got to keep it down the middle. If you're gonna test people, then test everyone. If not, then just leave everyone to do what they want. Let's keep it fair now. You can't have one guy with getting Ivan Drago fucking training and treatment in some science lab in Moscow, and then you've got another guy that can't put Vicks up his nose when he's got a cold.
And that's what I'm saying. That look, the proper look how we use Ivan Drago, and I get it. It's a we're referring to Rocky IV, right? But like even with Creed, with movies like this, it's no wonder that like me as a boxing fan, I can't help but notice the propaganda. So it's like, yeah, these drug testing benefits certain fighters, and they're against other fighters. You know, so it's like, you know, you're a foreigner, you're from Eastern Europe.
Black Americans.
Of course, I mean, because let's be real, Creed weren't on PEDs, nor was Clubber Lang, but Drago was. He was on loads of them. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And Rocky, you know, little Rocky, he wasn't on PEDs, but you know, he somehow slayed the dragon. You know.
Well, it's all that walking in the snow that he did, weren't it? Come on now.
Yeah, of course, that's what it was.
Or egg drinking.
And then exactly, and then they make movies that are not reality, right? Like, you know, American fighters going to Russia to fight. Yeah, that never happens.
If you dream hard enough, anything is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've actually saw a picture of like the guy who plays Creed's son.
Yeah, tell me he's not on steroids.
Yeah, he's got
these
enormous pecs that are bigger than his head.
Exactly.
I saw him in Creed too. He's got his pecs are bigger than Ivan Drago's sons.
I wonder if the fucking elites have got hold of Rocky and say, right, we want an anti-Russia movie this time, you know, because of Trump. Let's make it about Trump. Let's make it anti-Russian. And don't be surprised if they've had a word with Sly and he's come in there with the anti-Russian propaganda.
All right, guys.
Has anybody seen that movie yet?
No,
I'm gonna see it soon.
Interested.
So don't spoil it. Do not spoil it.
What about you, John? Are you done? Are you waiting to see Creed?
Never.
I'll probably watch it, but you know, as like a fun now.
I thought the first one was fucking shit.
I heard that too.
Jesus.
It was fucking shit, man.
The last fight was good, man. The fight against Belly was pretty okay.
It didn't make any sense, did it? Oh, beat Gabe Rosado, and then you fight the pound for pound.
Yeah, that's pretty shitty, though. It's like because he had the name, but come on.
And then Andre Ward is like the top undefeated, unstoppable boxer that nobody can hit.
Bit made me cringe. The film was alright, but that bit made me cringe.
Well, because we're boxing fans, so we can see through that shit. You know, it's like it's like as boxing.
Tony Bellew injured him. Like, he should have just broke his skull, honestly.
Oh yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna end the show. Well, I wanted to do it short, and it went over 2 hours. So yeah, we're gonna end it now.
Peace,
everybody. So thank you all for coming.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.
See you guys.
Bye. Bye, dudes.
Everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, boys.
And yep. Thank you for joining us, guys. We'll see you next time. Enjoy the Bivol Pascal mismatch. I'm not paying $70 for that because that's what you're supposed to pay here in Canada to watch that. So I'll find a way to watch it. All right, guys. Take care, and I'll see you next time.